Columbus's Real Rock Station, WKCN HD2 Fort Benning South, Columbus, and W295AY Crystal Valley, 106.9. Really rocks. Rocks.
The River Dragons are on the air. The Columbus River Dragons are on the air, live on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Fort Benning Harley-Davidson, Zelmo Zip-In, Country Inn and Suites, Kinetic Credit Union, Heckler & Koch, Pepsi Cola, and PMB Broadcasting. Now let's head to the Harvey Lumber broadcast booth for the start of the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. And join the voice of the River Dragons, Zach DeBozart.
Thank you very much, Brian Thomas. Welcome in to the Columbus Civic Center, where the River Dragons and the Port Huron Prowlers are finishing up their 3 games in 3-night set. The last 2 nights have been a lot of fun. Started up in Biloxi, Mississippi, with the Prowlers taking home a very competitive game with some good third-period efforts. The River Dragons then would respond on Friday night with a great home win that saw them almost blow a 3-goal lead, but some good resolve down the stretch and great forechecking iced that game to the point where Port Huron could not pull their goalie. We'll recap all the details that we have seen so far in this series as it sets up for a very intriguing rubber match. Columbus, Port Huron, Game 3 of this 3-game set here on a Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun here in the Civic Center. Tickets still available, Civic Center box office or on Ticketmaster. For those of you driving around the Chattahoochee Valley area, maybe looking for something to do tonight after a certain football game is over. Understand it's getting pretty late in that one, so hey, we got an influx of crowd coming in around the 8 o'clock hour. I'm not going to be upset about it, but get yourself down here. Again, tickets available, Civic Center box office or on Ticketmaster. Going to be a lot of fun. Some live hockey action here in Columbus to see these two teams finish out who's going to win the best of 3. We got a lot to get to in tonight's Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. We're going to go inside the lair, though, before we do any of that. And our guest in today's show, it's number 12, Jake Grade, one of the newest River Dragons. Let's see how he's fitting in with the team. Jake Grade on Inside the Lair next on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You've always wanted to get on the open road, but your skills on a bike might need a little work. Well, we've got your back. The Riding Academy has now launched at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. It's your chance to learn to ride for only $199. Unleash your soul on the open road. To schedule your class or to get on a waiting list for priority scheduling for future classes, go to FortBenningHD.com. Learn to ride for less than $200. The Fort Benning Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. FortBenningHD.com.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
Welcome back to the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. It's now time for Inside the Lair. Today our guest, number 12, Jake Grade. Jake, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, it's been a little bit for you here. You're probably settled into Columbus, and I think fans are starting to get to know your name for sure. Mainstay on the blue line, couple of goals already. Take us through what it's been like for you in your time here in Columbus so far.
It's been amazing, honestly. There's nothing more I could have asked from Jeff to Boom Boom, then Krupp, Frago. They all brought me in, and I couldn't be happier here. It's obviously been a tough road at the beginning of the season, got bounced around a bit, but they have everything here that you want as a professional hockey player, and I couldn't be happier here.
how much really does it help just not only you as a person, but maybe as an athlete as well, feeling like you're starting to settle in somewhere, you're consistent in the lineup? Because you said you bounced around a little bit in the SPHL before getting here. So what does that do for you, both as a person and as an athlete, to really feel more comfortable in a place like here?
Right, yeah. It's tough. Like, it takes a toll on your confidence for sure. I think you're playing pretty good hockey and you get traded a couple times, so it's kind of hard to stay a little positive. But as a person, it's the same type thing. You think, what am I doing wrong? What more can I do? And gets in your head a bit. But, the guys here are were really good welcoming me and giving me support and confidence every day. And it's really been a great fit.
Well, you've certainly, picked it up and shown up well in your first couple of games. Obviously, I believe your first game here in Columbus, scored a power play goal. That had to be a pretty good feeling, huh?
Yeah, that felt pretty good. It's been a while since I've scored a goal in general, so to be first game here at home, that felt amazing. Big monkey off the back.
I'd have to believe for sure. All right, so we got the Port Huron Prowlers coming up for the third of 3 straight. Obviously, a bit of an unorthodox 3-3 with Thursday night being Biloxi, Friday night being here at home. First, let's talk about Biloxi a little bit. Pretty fun crowd on hand. Game was a little bit crazy. What was that like for you?
It was good. I mean, the crowd there was unbelievable. So I think if they end up getting a team there, which I think they are, they're going to do very well. That game was fun. I've never really played in a neutral site like that, especially in front of that many fans. So definitely an interesting experience. Schmitty got us going right off the bat with a big fight, got the fans into it. And, unfortunately we didn't win that game, but coming back home, I thought we really played well last night, and I think last night's going to be a big turning point for our season.
Yeah, Friday really seemed like a lot of fun for, I think, just the fans in general. It was a very entertaining game. Probably not for either of the benches because it got a little dicey. Things were getting a little chaotic and hectic. But overall, I mean, just assessing last night's game, big win for the guys, obviously. Snaps a 4-game losing streak. What's the mood in the room? Because when you break a losing streak like that, it's got to be buzzing, right?
Yeah, the mood in the room's great. I mean, even on Thursday night, we battled to the end in Biloxi. Thought we played a good game, and obviously, playing someone 3 times in a row, it's going to get chippy. So last night was kind of expected. I'm sure it'll be a little chippy here tonight. People's legs are a little tired. Should be a good show tonight for sure.
We're speaking with Jake Great on Inside the Lair. Inside the Lair, as always, is brought to you by the Dragon's Den Pro Shop and the Columbus Ice Rink. Open on Wednesdays every week for all your ice skating and hockey needs. You mentioned it, the game got a little chippy on Friday night, and it's probably going to get chippy here today. Let's be honest. Messages get sent. You see the same guys 3 times in a row. It's going to get like that. But on a 3-3 especially, they always talk about, playing with your head versus playing with instincts. You get down to instincts, and sometimes it gets even goofier just because of that, doesn't it?
Right, it does. And, there's guys in our league that seems like the past 2 games they've been going after our top guy, and we got to answer the bell there. So I think we're fine. We obviously have the team to stick up for ourselves and our teammates in those situations, and we'll be doing it again tonight.
Do you think that's a key in a game like this? Again, coming off a 3-3, just maintaining emotions and trying to play somewhat of level-headed hockey? I know that's obviously very tough considering the situations, but I mean, that's got to be probably key, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, it's been hot down here in Georgia, so the ice gets a little chippy towards the end of the game. So especially, though, 3-3, you got to just keep it simple, stick to basics, and just play our game, stick to our systems.
I know you're one of the newer guys here, but you might have to take a side here tonight if fans ask you, Alabama or Georgia. By the time this goes live, we're going to know who won, so you're basically guessing right now.
Honestly, I respect Bama and everything they do. They remind me of my hometown Patriots. Can't stop losing, but I got to go with Georgia here. I want Georgia tonight. One of my buddies back home is a big Bulldog fan, so I'll ride that tail with him. And I'm here, so kind of got no choice.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Of course, when this airs, we're going to see who won that game.
Right.
Maybe you got it right, maybe you didn't. We won't know. But all in all, though, any message to the fans before we get you out of here and get ready for tonight's game?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for welcoming here. It feels like home right from the start, and just thank you so much for all the support. Keep it up, and we're going to do everything we can to bring you another banner here.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Jake. Good luck out there.
Of course, thank you.
Jake Grade on Inside the Lair. Stick around. More Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward, and we're taking you there. Progress, your beam, your way.
At Texas Roadhouse, we're famous for our hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made-from-scratch sides, ice-cold beer, and our irresistible fresh-baked bread. We take great care in everything we prepare, served with big smiles at a great value. Visit us at 2970 North Lake Parkway in Columbus or call ahead seating at 706-323-6616. Curbside takeout available too. We're proud to be your hometown favorite and are always focused on providing legendary food and legendary service. Texas Roadhouse.
Eating, working, living pain-free. These are a few of the things many of us take for granted. Yet for many United States military veterans, finding and affording oral health care is a challenge many of us don't think about. Dental Lifeline Network is looking for dentists who can change this. DLN is asking dentists and their teams to volunteer to see one veteran with special needs one time per year. Visit willyouseeonevet.org to learn more. That's willyouseeonevet.org.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center on the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. I'm Zach DeBozart, happy to have you along as part of your Saturday night, taking in some hockey with the Columbus River Dragons getting ready to host the Port Huron Prowlers. We just heard from Jake Grade, and we had kind of recapped the weekend so far through him, but let's tell you about it more in earnest. It starts up actually on Thursday in Biloxi, Mississippi, the first of 3 neutral site games the FPHL is putting on at the Mississippi Coast Coliseums. River Dragons are the road team for all 3. They'll be hosted by Port Huron on the 2nd and the 30th of December, Carolina on the 17th. So you can do the math, look at the calendar. Thursday was that first game, Columbus and Port Huron. Very good back and forth contest. Port Huron took the early lead. Columbus would answer 2 goals in the first to take a 2-1 advantage. Then Dalton Jay, 7 seconds later, ties it up before the period's over, 2-2. Port Huron then would not give Columbus back a lead. They were up 3-2, even though the River Dragons tied it up 3-3 through Petrantonio. Third period goals from Lauri Vartiainen and an empty netter from Stavros Soilis gave Port Huron the 5-3 win and the first 3 points on the weekend. That allowed us to turn the page over and take a look into Friday's game, where the Prowlers again scored first, this time a little bit later in the game. 15-23 into the first, Vartiainen, who has been phenomenal in this series and really this whole weekend, because Vartiainen was signed on Thursday to add some reinforcements to the Prowlers, and all he has done in 2 games against Columbus is put up 3 goals and an assist for 4 points. So Vartiainen, his first of that game, made it 1-0 through 20 minutes of play. Then Columbus went on a little run. 43 seconds, Austin Doe. 1:04 into the second, Jay Krupp. And 3:35 into the second, Josh Petrantonio. 3-1 Columbus before we'd even gotten to the first media timeout of the second period. They would add another with Austin Doe finding a second of the game at 10:44. However, Vartiainen would strike again, a little 2-on-1 with him and Brennan Young. Made it 4-2 as we went into the locker room through 40 minutes of play. And as Columbus had pushed the right buttons in between the first and second, Port Huron pushed the right buttons in the locker room between the second and third. Back-to-back power play goals, one from Dalton Jay, the other from Zach Frisura at 8:51 and 11:08 respectively, tied the game up 4-4. Port Huron never wavered, got their opportunities, and made the most of them. However, after they got it tied, maybe just a little bit too lax defensively, a 3-on-1 developed, and Brad Nolan got his second of the year 32 seconds after the tying goal, and that would end up being the difference. 5-4, River Dragons won in a very entertaining back-and-forth game. When you talk 4 unanswered goals for Columbus until they were answered by 3 straight for Port Huron, back and forth, couple of good scraps. I know MJ Graham and Quentin Roseboom had a good fight. Edgars Ozelin was taking on all-comers from Port Huron. Joe Pace and Justin Schmidt had round 2. I mean, there was just so much animosity, so much just of that good old-fashioned hockey hate, if you will, to turn a phrase from a different rivalry. But it was a lot of fun to watch, and it sets up for a very interesting Saturday night here at the Civic Center with, again, both teams on 3 points on the weekend, both teams with a win. Who's going to get that advantage? Who's going to win the weekend series? And with how close these teams are in the standings, it's going to impact who's ahead of who when we look into next week. We'll take a look at the standings and a look around the FPHL coming up after this. Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show continues on the Columbus River Dragons broadcast network.
The Country Inn and Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn and Suites by Radisson.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, River Dragons and Port Huron Prowlers a little bit less than 15 minutes away from dropping puck to ice on this Game 3 of a 3-game set. So far, each team has taken one game out of the 3 points apiece. Port Huron, they sit in 4th on 15 points through 10 games played. Columbus, 14 points on 11 games played. Let you know whoever wins this one is going to be atop of the other in the standings. The rest of the FPHL looks like this. Watertown still maintaining their lead at the top, 23 points on 10 games for a 767. Danbury's got 23 points as well, but they've played 2 more games than the Wolves. Second place at 639 after their big win over Delaware last night. Binghamton sits comfortably in 3rd at 606, 20 points through 11. Mentioned Port Huron in 4th. Carolina's in 5th. They're also on 15 points, but idle today and with 11 games played. Worst case scenario, they would find themselves even with Port Huron in a spot in the 5th, 6th department. Best case scenario, they could actually find themselves jumping up if the right result kind of pans their way throughout their off weekend. Columbus in 6th, and then Delaware in 7th, 1 point out of the 9 games they have played so far. As we take a look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo's Zip-In, Zelmo's fueling life's passions. Delaware Thunder and Danbury hat-tricks are already underway in game number 2 of their 2-game set. 5 minutes into the first, no score, and Delaware right now is leading in shots 3-1. It's a very nice thing to see after the hat-tricks put 70 shots towards the Delaware Thunder and Trevor Babin, who had gotten the start in last night's game. Tonight, Delaware opts to give him a break, which I think is very responsible to do. Mike Cosentino goes for the Thunder. Brian Wilson matches him for Danbury. We also are supposed to have a 7 o'clock start in Binghamton, and in fact we do. We just didn't have it updated yet, so there it goes. Watertown at Binghamton in a battle of the Empire State, and right now, very good game. 10 minutes gone in the first, 1-1 our score. Binghamton hosting Watertown. Trying to get the updates rolling in here. Here they are. Watertown opens the scoring first with Cole McKechnie, 6:54. Answered quickly, 8:25 mark of the first period from Sam Holechzy. Shots pretty even right now, 6-5. Watertown just took the advantage there, and there's no penalties yet recorded. Pretty good, clean hockey game. Those two teams are fast. And playing at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena, you know there's going to be a good crowd on hand to see that one. As we mentioned, Carolina Thunderbirds are off. Next Fed action comes up Wednesday, December 8th, when Watertown is at Danbury for a 7 o'clock puck drop in the midweek. That is your look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo's, the official fuel provider of the Columbus River Dragons. Let's take a quick peek elsewhere in the Southern Hockey scoreboard. SPHL, Roanoke and Fayetteville are tied 1-1 halfway through the second period there. Pensacola's on the road at the Macon Mayhem. They lead 2-0 through 20 minutes of play. Then in the Central Time Zone, 8 o'clock East, 7 o'clock Central starts in Evansville and Vermilion County. The Birmingham Bulls at the Evansville Thunderbolts. and the Huntsville Havoc at the Vermilion County Bobcats. Also Central Time Zone, 8:10 East, 7:10 Central. Peoria is at Quad City. One game to tell you about on Sunday in the SPHL. Knoxville is at Fayetteville, 3 o'clock Eastern puck drop at the Crown Coliseum. Over to the ECHL, another Battle of South Carolina. Stingrays up 1-0 over Greenville in the second period. Remember, that game was 7-6 in overtime last night. What are those two teams going to do for an encore? Should be very exciting to watch. Atlanta and Norfolk are about 10 minutes away from drop of the puck. 7:30 puck drop for them. And we were taking a look at our guys who are on loan in the ECHL. Only Utah's on playing today. Garrett Sargis on loan to the Utah Grizzlies, but last night neither he nor Wyatt Tremblay really factored in, but it was fun to check in on them, see how them and their teams are doing in the ECHL, venturing out of our little southern corridor of that league. And fine for the rest of you, because we know what day it is. It's SEC Championship Day. If you don't want to be a spoiler alert here in the update, cover your ears, shut off the radio for just a quick 5-10 seconds. 8:10 left to go in the fourth. Georgia's got the ball, but they are down 14, 38-24. Alabama is leading right now. All right, spoiler alert over. Now let's get back to talking about some hockey. That's your Southern Hockey scoreboard, and we've got the Columbus River Dragons hosting the Port Huron Prowlers in the third of this 3-game set. We'll have our starting lineups brought to you just momentarily while they're being passed down press row here high atop the Civic Center. Let's take a break. When we come back, those starting lineups up for you next on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
I've always wanted to get on the open road, but your skills on a bike might need a little work. Well, we've got your back. The Riding Academy has now launched at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. It's your chance to learn to ride for only $199. Unleash your soul on the open road. To schedule your class or to get on a waiting list for priority scheduling for future classes, go to FortBenningHD.com. Learn to ride for less than $200. The Fort Benning Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. FortBenningHD.com.
The benefits of a Kinetic membership extend far beyond convenient banking solutions, competitive rates, and financial advice. Kinetic Credit Union focuses on the unique needs of our members while supporting and improving their lives. At Kinetic Credit Union, they recognize that your financial goals are unique. That's why we're offering the Smart Steps Financial Education Program, a personalized learning experience to help you plan around your individual financial situation and aspirations. Kinetic Credit Union.
Watch out! You got me! The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons and Prowlers about 8 or so minutes away from dropping puck to ice here on this third of 3 in a row. I'm Zach DeBozart. Time to take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. River Dragons lineups brought to you by Fort Benning Harley-Davidson. Go see Brett Posey and the guys at 3230 Williams Road, the Chattahoochee Valley's only authorized Harley-Davidson dealer. River Dragons will start in net for the second straight night. Number 1, Jared Rutledge. Rutledge a 3-2-1 record, .877 save percentage, 3.58 goals against average. Tough night for Rutledge's stats despite picking up the win, because the GAA actually goes up because it was just over the 3.5 it was at before, because they scored 4 goals, and the .887 actually went down just because of the lack of shot quantity that was scored here in the building. But still, Rutledge will be happy with the win, and he gets a second straight start here on a Saturday night. The defense in front of Rutledge starts with number 4, Noah Doyle, and number 24, Brad Nolan. Nolan, of course, in last night's game did score that game winner, so he's rewarded with a start alongside his D partner in Doyle. And the forward line is Jagger Williamson in the middle of Jake Krupp and MJ Graham, an old reliable line right now here in the early part of the season for Jerome Bouchard. Now take a look at the Port Huron lineup brought to you by Victoryland Casino just over the border in Shorter, Alabama. Port Huron Prowlers will start in net. Number 40, making his pro debut, Joe Noonan out of Northport, Maine. Let's see what the young man has got in store here for the Prowlers. And again, this, the third of 3 in a row for both teams. The defense in front of Noonan will start with number 19, Austin Federley, and number 25, Alex Johnson. The forward line, Stavros Soilis, Caleb Williams, and in the middle, Mo Levesque. That is your starting lineups for tonight's game. Let's take a break. When we come back, we conclude tonight's Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Who wants a copy when you can own the real thing? At Heckler & Koch, the foundation for everything we do is an unswerving commitment to excellence. Shooters of Columbus at 4445 Milton Road is your local area premium stocking dealer for all your favorite Heckler & Koch products. They also have an indoor range with rentals available, from rifles and pistols to ammo and holsters. There's no better choice in the firearm business than Heckler & Koch. Gulf Eagle Supply specializes in servicing the professional roofing contractor and also provides a variety of products and services to the homeowner, building owner, architect, and general contractor. Our goal to the contractor is not only to provide competitive material pricing, but also to help them build their business and assist in their success. We do this with knowledgeable sales personnel and through our core values. As we say, Gulf Eagle, we got a solution for that. Call us today at 706-550-1555. Gulf Eagle Supply. Victorply is a world leader in development, manufacturing, and distribution of composite reinforcement materials for any and all projects you might have. Headquartered right here in Phoenix City, Victorply prides itself on providing superior and timely customer service for all their customers' inquiries. No project is too big or too small for Victorply. For more information on what they can do for you and your project, visit Victorply.com. That's VECTORPLY.com. And get started on your next big project today.
Back here one more time on the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show. The crowd is getting loud as the team is being announced. Starters for your River Dragons coming out of the tunnel. They are in this order, starting in goal. Number 1, Jared Rutledge. Then on defense in front of him, Noah Doyle and Brad Nolan. With the forward line, Jagger Williamson, Jay Krupp, and MJ Graham. For the Port Huron Prowlers, it is a pro debut for number 40, Joe Noonan, in the net out of Maine. Then we've got the defense in front of him of Austin Federley and Alex Johnson. The forwards, Stavros Soilis, Caleb Williams, and Mo Levesque. Should be a lot of fun. Nothing left to do but get the formalities underway and play some hockey. Game 3 of 3 in this set. Who is going to take the rubber match and win the weekend? When we come back, call of the Sun South John Deere first period next on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You've been listening to the Fort Benning Harley-Davidson pregame show on 106.9 Really Rocks. The call of the game is just moments away after we pause for a short break on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
At Southern States Bank, the Common Sense Bank, we're a true community bank that supports the places we serve. Our people live, work, and play in your community. And you will find us cheering for the River Dragons right alongside you in the stands. With convenient locations throughout Alabama and Georgia, we're never too far away to handle any of your financial concerns. Call, click, or come by and see how we can help you make sense out of your banking. Visit us online at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, member FDIC, equal housing housing lender. NMLS number 410611.
Dressing for success is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Wade Cleaners. Drop off your garment at any one of their 5 convenient branches or call their valet manager to pick them up. Go do something fun. Walk your dog, eat a hot fudge sundae, or go to a movie. Leave the dirty laundry to them. Pick up your professionally cleaned garments or have them delivered at no additional charge to your home or office. Yes, you too can dress for success with Wade Cleaners. Oh, and don't forget the little people as you move up in the world.
If you're looking for quality dental work, look no further than Largeman Dental in Columbus, the River Dragons' trusted oral care provider. Largeman Dental provides cleaning services, restorative work, cosmetics, prosthetics, and Invisalign braces too. Dr. Largeman has over 19 years of clinical experiences in all phases of dentistry and holds memberships in 4 different esteemed dental societies. Set your next appointment by calling 706-322-6581 or visit them online at largemandental.com.
It's time for River Dragons hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by Sun South John Deere, Houston Clinic, Burger King, West Georgia Oral and Facial Surgery, Country Inn and Suites, Buffalo Rock, Pepsi Cola, John Emerald Distilling, Wade Cleaners, and PMB Broadcasting. Now let's start the game with the voice of River Dragons hockey, Zach DeBozart.
Thank you very much, Brian Thomas. Welcome into the Columbus Civic Center, everybody, where it's hockey time on the Chattahoochee. River Dragons taking on the Port Huron Prowlers in this Game 3 of the 3-game set. Jared Rutledge is over to our left. River Dragons dressed in the blackout jerseys with the blackout logo, gray numbers, teal trim throughout, black helmets and pants. They're going to go left to right across your radio dial and TV screens here in the Sun South John Deere first period. Over to our right, a pro debut for Joe Noonan. And the Prowlers, dressed in white with the red helmets and pants, will go right to left. Levesque, Williamson. And the puck is down. We are underway here in the first. MJ Graham in front of the Port Huron bench will backhand send this one into the zone. Alex Johnson has it. He played it only to the Columbus line. Nolan with a little give and go is off a body, and he ends up kicking it into the path of Jay Krupp, who will sweep that one deep into the Port Huron end. Krupp checks Johnson there, loose in the feet. Jagger Williamson couldn't find it before it was sent out to Levesque. Mo Levesque flips this one out to center. Good read on that by Noah Doyle, but Caleb Williams kicks it at the delayed offsides, and the Prowlers will end up touching it, not realizing they were off. 19:29 left to go here in the first. No score. Dragons and Prowlers. Happy to have you along on the broadcast network tonight in full earnest. Of course, the 4-station River Dragons radio network across West Georgia and East Alabama with the flagship 106.9 here in Columbus and on the YouTube page and today. One of our WTVM games. We thank all of our partners back there. Bounce 9.2 over the air. However you're listening, however you're watching, we're glad to have you along. Petrantonio fires a shot, and that one blocked in front by Pace, and it falls to the far wall. Here's a chance. Bersani backhand deke. He scores. Oh, he just froze the rookie Noonan. Puts it on the backhand home, and it's an early goal. Columbus 1-0 Dragons. What a great setup play out of the corner. Hunter Bersani streaking in from that left wing, took the pass in stride. Fake shot froze Noonan down and out, and all Bersani had to do was slide that one home on the backhand for his 3rd of the year and a goal 46 seconds here in the Sun South John Deere first period. Hey, very early. Let's hear from Dana. We were going to hear from Dana, but hold on. Doe to the middle. Petrantonio's shot is knocked away. Now here he is.
River Dragons goal scored by number 15, Hunter Bersani. His 3rd goal of the season, assisted by number 17, Austin Doe, and number 9, Josh Petrantonio. At 46 seconds in the first.
Doe and Petrantonio on Bersani's 3rd of the year. 1-0 Columbus. Less than a minute here in the Sun South John Deere first period. Offsides here against the Prowlers as Austin Federley could not hold that one in along the blue line. Dalton Jay had touched it in the slot, and we get another call and a neutral zone draw. 18.5 left to go here in the first. Some of the crowd still filing in. They've already missed the game's opening tally. 1-0 Columbus on the first shot of the game. Weber set to take this draw against Dalton Anderson. Anderson will win that one, push it back to the defense, and here's Grade up ahead, hit the backside of Finch. He'll grab it from behind and fling into the zone. Right corner, a shot from Armstrong, and a pad save made there by Noonan. Here comes Port Huron back the other way. Frisura's pass too far for Young. He'll fall back to the Port Huron line, though, and here's Federley with some steam ahead. He'll backhand that towards the slot. Rutledge sticks it and then has to cover up with the glove as there was a hard-charging Austin Weber coming at him for the Prowlers. 18:07 now left to go here in period one. 1-0 Columbus. Happy those of you could make it out to the building. Might be listening in on your radios to the call. Come on out next weekend, too. FPHL's newest team, the Binghamton Black Bears, are in town Friday and Saturday night. Shot from the left point by Johnson. Another glove save made by Rutledge to take another whistle. And Saturday night's going to be something special. It's a teddy bear toss night here in the building. Up against the Binghamton Black Bears. Teddy bear toss. See what we did there? Should be a lot of fun. Come on out Saturday night. That's December 11th against Binghamton for teddy bear toss night here at the Civic Center. This one dumped down. Icing called against Columbus. We got through the read, guys, but thank you. We appreciate the extra whistle there, as the Dragons are going to have to defend another defensive zone draw. Port Huron puts this one to the right of Jared Rutledge. Mo Levesque to take this draw for Port Huron. He wins it clean to the center point. Federley shot blocked in front by Finch. It's Caleb Williams on the calf, and he can't do anything with it as he's tied up in the slot. Columbus will push that one down to the Port Huron end and start up a wholesale change. Trying to catch Columbus in that change in the open left wing. Caleb Williams got a touch right at the blue to negate icing. Williamson trying to pick it off along the wall. Levesque was giving him some trouble. Now here's MJ Graham with speed ahead. Krupp's on his left, and he passes to Doyle, pinching on the play on his right. Doyle, right wing circle, trying to pass it across. He ends up hitting the side of the net with it. Puck is free, overskated by Krupp behind the net. Henning takes a check there from MJ Graham. Loose in the feet. Mo Levesque will find it for the Prowlers. Can't send it out. Held in by Doyle at the left point. Doyle along the half wall, pushing it down deep into the corner. Graham ties up there on Henning. Williamson to the left circle. Nolan's shot. That one blocked in front by Johnson. Puck falls harmlessly into the corner. A lot of stick battling going on. Up off the glass. Graham will find it here, and a forehand pass is intercepted by the Prowlers. Soilis trying to get it out. Brad Nolan interrupting that as much as he can, but it goes back to the red line. Columbus has to vacate the zone. Port Huron trying to change behind this. Doyle couldn't take advantage. He didn't have that one on his tape the way he'd like. Here come the Prowlers back the other way. Dalton J driving this one through the middle. He's very dangerous when he gets his speeds going. Behind the net, here's Brad Nolan. Off the wall, right point, held in by Graham. His shot save made Rutledge, and he corrals the rebound with the stick before it could leak out to the slot. 16:37 now left to go here in the first. Dragons still lead it by a score of 1-0, thanks to the early tally from Hunter Bersani. Face-off coming to the left of Rutledge. Tied up, wing support. Dalton J had it for a moment, lost it in the circle. Frazier sends this one up in the air. Glove down by Roseboom, but he was bothered. Now here's Petrantonio on the turnover. His shot just wide of the blocker hand on Noonan. Roseboom checked there by Austin Doe. Puck goes out to the left point, held in by Frazier. A backhand effort to that circle. Roseboom knocks it out of the air, and it hits somebody in the Prowlers bench. And we will get another offensive zone draw coming up here for Columbus. 16:16 to go in the first. 1-0 Columbus. Tough start to the pro career for Joe Noonan. First shot he sees, not that he had much chance on it. Hunter Bersani had all kinds of space in front of the goal. Came in, crashed the slot, froze the netminder. And that's how he slid one home on the backhand for the game's opening goal. Let's see if that rattles Port Huron at all. But so far trying to control this game. They are controlling the puck right now. This is the first time this weekend Columbus has scored first. Chance to the middle. Dalton J lifted it up from the backhand, but it went over himself and over the bar. It'll be found by Columbus in the corner. Here's some space ahead for Tom Maldonado. He passed it across left wing to the goal scorer, Bersani. Bersani stops up in the circles, fires, scores again! Hunter Bersani's got the hot stick! Keep feeding him. 15:48 to go in the first. 2-0. When you're hot, you're hot. Hunter Bersani has fired 2 shots, and he's found twine on both of them. 4th goal of the season and 2nd of the game for the Allen, Texas native. And Columbus has started out en fuego. Let's hear it from Dana.
He shoots! River Dragons goal scored by number 15, Hunter Bersani. His second of the night, fourth of the season, assisted by number 25, Tommy Maldonado, and number 17, Austin Doe at 4-12.
Tom Maldonado, Austin Doe pick up the assist. Here's Finch, left wing circle behind the net, trying to move it up the near wall, and defense wasn't there in time to cover. Austin Doe with that assist has 2 helpers on the night, and Hunter Bersani's 2 goals have Columbus up 2-0. 15:06 to go here in the first. Johnson, the backhand flip. Brad Nolan holds it in left point. Nice filter pass. Left circle. Save made there by Noonan. Jagger Williams let one go. And we get our media timeout right on the dot at 15 minutes. Let's take 30 seconds. When we come back, we'll be ready. 15 minutes to go in the first. Dragons already up 2-0 here on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Benefits of a Kinetic membership extend far beyond convenient banking solutions, competitive rates, and financial advice. Kinetic Credit Union focuses on the unique needs of our members while supporting and improving their lives. At Kinetic Credit Union, they recognize that your financial goals are unique. That's why we're offering the Smart Steps Financial Education Program, a personalized learning experience to help you plan around your individual financial situation and aspirations. Kinetic Credit Union.
Those of you who might have been watching in on YouTube tonight might have caught the camera as there's a little bit of a commotion and discussion between the Port Huron and Columbus bench, but it is mostly civil. Alex Johnson was near the Columbus bench, and I think there's an issue with Joe Noonan's skate as he is down on a knee in front of his own bench. Going to get some assistance for him, and it would appear whatever it is has been fixed. Maybe just a loose screw or a rivet, something in there. He's trying to test out something on the left side, lower half of his body. It appeared to be something with the skate. And he will drift his way over back to his net. We'll be ready to go here. 15 minutes to go in the first. 2-0 Dragons. Hunter Bersani with both goals. Levesque wins it clean, and Henning will shoot it down immediately off the draw. I don't know if that was a design play or reaction, but either way, Doyle wins the race and secures the icing call. 14:54 to go in the first, still 2-0 Dragons. I guess commotion wasn't really the great word for that. Just first media timeout of the day, and you wouldn't expect the teams to be near each other at the benches, but again, this was more of a civil situation than we had seen the last couple of nights. Lots of fights, lots of animosity, and it's set up right now for an entertaining first period of play, especially if you're a Dragons fan. With Columbus up 2-0. Nolan's shot from the left point. Missed just wide of the blocker hand on Noonan, and Port Huron sends it out only to the red line, where it's collected by Nolan again. D-to-D across for Doyle, retreating in his own end, looking for an angle to pass. He finds Jagger Williamson. He chips it ahead. MJ Graham can't chip it around Henning, though, at the Port Huron blue line. Doyle, nice sidestep move as he gloved it down. Pass to MJ Graham in the zone. MJ's shot, shoulder save made by Noonan, and he holds that one up high for the whistle. 14:23 now left to go here in the first. Dragons 2, Prowlers nothing. Face off coming up to the right of the rookie netminder. Well, I don't think we jinxed him any just by saying the pro debut part, but after we had mentioned the first shot he had seen as a pro went in on him, that was might have been a little bit of a broadcaster jinx for Bersani to get his second. His unit's back out there, and he's hustling in on the forecheck as Alex Johnson gets it away from him with a pass to Federley. This one sent into the neutral zone. Maldonado to Bersani. One touch just out of the path of Doe. He was a little bit behind on the timing play. And Matt Graham is going to send this to Alex Johnson. He'll send it down. Stopped at the side of the net by Rutledge to negate icing. And Columbus takes their time behind the net. Fraziot has to dodge a hot stick coming in to try and snuff him out. Petrantonio chips it around Dalton J. And now Alex Johnson gloves this one out of the air and backhands it over to his D partner in Federley. Moving this one up, Matt Graham off the wall. Dalton J. Oh, good play by Petrantonio on the back check. Lifted his stick at the right moment as he hit the blue. Now here's Petrantonio with speed ahead, trying to crash in his right wing side. Oh, he fakes around Johnson. Petrantonio shot, a save made on the glove hand there by Noonan. That is a crafty move right there by the captain. Petrantonio knew he was near the end of a shift. He wasn't going to have help. Came in right wing side with a whole lot of speed, one-on-one, and Alex Johnson wound up for a slap shot. Johnson got into a shot blocking mode, and with him frozen, was able to go around him and force a good save out of Noonan to keep this game 2-0. Columbus wins the offensive zone draw. It's loose along the near side wall. Henning is in a battle here with Grade. Armstrong flips it out to the slot, but it goes into the path of Roseboom, and Port Huron will skate it out of their own end. Roseboom from just on the other side of the red line puts it on net on a bounce, and Rutledge will glove it and take the whistle. 13-14 left to go here in the first. Still 2-0 Dragons. Shots on goal, and the Heckler and Koch shot counter in favor of Columbus, 6-3. Heckler and Koch, why own a copy when you can own the real thing? Port Huron tries to win that one forward. Weber wraparound attempt, loose there, side of the net, and a chance for Brennan Young, but he couldn't find the angle, hit the base of the post. Right point, this one held in by Roseboom. In the slot, knocked down by Grade. He'll go off the glass with it, but Henning holds in, now left point for the Prowlers. Henning's on the backhand, being bothered there by Anderson. Pushed down into the corner. Grade flips this one to neutral ice, and Columbus gets a change behind this. Roseboom trying to turn it up ice, take advantage of the space. Roseboom with this left wing circle. Deeks to the backhand, now stops up in the corner. Puts it on the forehand, and a turnover. Columbus has got numbers back. 3-on-2. MJ Graham, left wing, gets around Young, dodges a slash. MJ Graham, save made there by Noonan. Dives out, spread eagle, as MJ Graham was cutting across the crease. Unorthodox move, but it worked, and it keeps the game 2-0. Well, that had to be a goalie's worst nightmare to see MJ Graham speeding down, just blowing by the defender. It was Brennan Young, a forward back for Port Huron. Icing is, just on there as MJ Graham and Alex Johnson were about even at the hash marks, but the puck was favoring Johnson's angle, and it will be an icing call against Columbus. 12-14 to go in the first, and it's still 2-0 Dragons. Going back to that Graham chance, though, I mean, he had the speed, and he loves to cut across the net to find that little bit of time and angle. And if the goaltender doesn't get out and aggressive on him, he's going to score more often than not. Well, Noonan, I guess you can call him a little aggressive, a little unorthodox, too. Just laid out spread eagle and was able to cut that one across. It was loose, but Port Huron did the rest for their netminder. Prowlers win the offensive zone draw. It's tied up in the corner between Williams and one of the Dragons. Now goes along the half wall far side. Graham will get it here and give it over to Jay Krupp. Krupp right wing, a soft chip towards the slot. Federley gloves it down, and behind the net, he will have to dodge Jagger Williamson. Moving this one up, Soilus, a one-touch to Levesque, and now a little give and go. Right wing, back for Levesque, right wing circle, trying to pay it to the middle, and a good sliding block right there as Tom Maldonado got himself in the way. Maldonado with this puck on the far side circle in his own end. Skates, couple of head fakes, trying to get space around Soilus. He'll gain the red line, backhanded in, and the River Dragons are changing behind this. Alex Johnson from behind the net. We'll slow it up, and Port Huron will look to take this puck. Mo Levesque on a very slow handoff, drops it back to Johnson in front of his net. Johnson whiffs on it there. It's loose, tied up in his feet. And Hunter Bersani, ever the opportunist, was looking for it, but it stayed in front of Johnson well enough for him to get it out. Now here's Bersani with it. Quickly, he's on hat-trick watch. Right wing circle, Austin Doe with it here. Doe in the corner, checked there by Brennan Young. A 2-on-2 battle as Bersani's trying to push Johnson, but Mo Levesque emerges from the scrum. This one can't be sent out. Held in center point. Petrantonio's shot. Great glove save made there by Noonan. Captain ripped it from a long way away, but not too much screen in front, and Noonan made an ultimately comfortable save. 10:56 left to go here in the first. 2-0 Dragons lead. Face-off coming to the left of Noonan. And this one is tied up, scraped at a couple of times by Matt Graham and Hunter Bersani. And Port Huron will eventually win it on the wing support. A couple of captains go at each other. Petrantonio knocks down Henning along the near side wall. The dog pile continues. It goes to the Port Huron line. Pace, D-to-D over, and that puck finds its way into the zone on the dump-in attempt. And Rutledge will have to cover it up as it's a shot on net. 10:39 left to go here in the first. Dragons 2, Prowlers nothing. Hey, guess what else is happening for the River Dragons? Not only do we have the Teddy Bear Toss coming up next weekend, it's a Saturday night game against the Binghamton Black Bears, Teddy Bear Toss, easy way to remember that. The week after, we got the Carolina Thunderbirds in a non-traditional home-and-home, Friday in Biloxi, Saturday in Columbus. Deflected shot, Vartiainen put a good stick on that, and Rutledge had to make the save. We'll get another whistle and a draw on the Columbus end. But that Carolina weekend, December 17th and 18th, is Ugly Sweater weekend. River Dragons will be wearing specialty ugly sweaters, and with all of that, that means they're going to be live on Dash for you to own a specialty piece of merch. DASH, free on all Android and iOS devices, with all the proceeds benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities of West Georgia. Columbus dumps this one in through Trevor Finch from behind the net. This one rimmed around by Noonan. Right wing circle, Dalton Anderson. He lost it off of his stick, and Henning takes it away from him. Moved up to Vartiainen. 3 goals this weekend for the Prowlers. He's only able to get it out to the red line, though. Doyle takes a check from Matt Graham. Loose in the feet, and the Prowlers will maintain possession now out of this. Henning, D to pace. Vartiainen let that one go by him. Doyle could have touched it at the blue line. No icing, say the linesman. Brad Nolan will take his time behind the Columbus cage. More than halfway through this first period of play, brought to you by Sun South John Deere. River Dragons lead at 2-0, thanks in part to Hunter Bersani's 2 goals. Here's MJ Graham with some speed ahead. Right wing circle. Blocker save made there by Noonan. Held in left point by Doyle. Behind the net. Kick to the slot by Krupp. And MJ Graham was just a little bit behind the play. Now a stretch pass ahead for Sura. Left wing circle. Fires. Fought off there by Rutledge. Rebound collected by a trailing Brad Nolan. MJ Graham takes a big hit there from Brennan Young. And Jay Krupp is going to absolutely give it to him. Jay Krupp. No, excuse me. That's Brad Nolan. Now Krupp's going to get involved. Immediately drops the gloves and go at him. Usually when one gets hit, the other comes in. That's why I thought 24 said 22, but Jay Krupp said, no thank you, Nolan. This one's mine. He gives Brennan Young a piece of his mind, and ultimately we will get penalties, a whistle, and a well-timed media timeout out of this. 9:18 left to go in the first, 30 seconds, and we're back here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward. And we're taking you there. Progress. Your Beam. Your way.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 9:18 left to go in the first. 2-0 Dragons lead, but the first power play opportunity of the game appears to be heading Port Huron's way. Jay Krupp has 2 minutes up on the board against him. No other penalties as the penalty box doors close. And we will see the first Houston Clinic penalty kill of the night. Houston Clinic helping the River Dragons get back to full strength. River Dragons have found a little bit of mojo in their PK as of recently. Find themselves sitting in 5th in the 7-team FPHL, 81.6%, but a negligible distance from getting up even into the top 3. Port Huron 4th, 17.4% on the man advantage so far this season. We're underway. Port Huron trying to hold in off the offensive zone draw. Weber kicks it to the high slot, and it's sent down off the stick of Doe, 200 feet. 1:43 left to go in the Krupp minor. Alex Johnson picks this one up behind his own net. Weber with a touch along the red line, errant with it, and Doe gives it back to the defense. Maldonado over for Frazier, and down 200 feet, well, almost 200 feet. He was a little off with his angle. Ends up in the Columbus bench, and a lot of heads hit the deck, and we will get a whistle. And heads up there to Mac Hill, sitting on that far side between the two benches. That was a little dangerous for him. Of course, Mac's no stranger to being in the line of fire. Many might remember that name from this summer. Baseball coach with the Columbus Chattahoots, another Ignite Sports and Entertainment property. And first base coach, yeah, you're going to get some hot shots down that line occasionally. Shot left point, Alex Johnson. That one blocked in front nicely by Nolan. Trevor Finch also diving out and selling to get there. The crowd appreciates that. Port Huron trying to move this up the far wing, and Weber, he spins away from one check, now dodging another one. He's zooming over the line, left point, he slows it up, trying to get a pass over to Frisura, and good move there by Anderson, but it's just somehow held in. Federley, circle to circle, Jay fires! Rising up Rutledge out of his butterfly, but that one was well over the bar. Weber moves this over, left wing circle to Federley. Federley trades places with him now. He's at the left point, moving it over to Henning. Henning circle to Weber. Bottom of the left wing circle. He eventually corrals it. Now to the center point, Federley. 45 seconds left in the Krupp minor. Good shot block in front right there by Frazier. Here's Weber with it. Center point, Federley. An umbrella setup right now for Port Huron. Weber's drive patted away by Rutledge on the short angle. Finch gets it from Frazier along the half wall. Held in right point there by Matt Graham. Graham, goal line, pass to the middle. Frisura couldn't handle it on the backhand. Matt Graham with it again at the left point. Right point is currently open. It threaded through a couple of Prowlers. Vartiainen eventually covers. Now he drives the slot. Vartiainen dekes and sent it high over the bar. Hits the glass and goes out of play, and that's a huge break for Columbus. A breakdown in front. Vartiainen was just able to walk in the slot. Rutledge came out to challenge, trying to see it around a body, and Vartiainen's fake shot froze Rutledge a little bit there. He had an angle to shoot, but couldn't get it underneath the 4-foot bar. 15 seconds left to go in the Croup Miners. 7:32 to go in the first. Dragons still lead it 2-0. Levesque wins his draw. Center point. Vartiainen. Left point now to Dustin Henning. He fakes the shot. Left circle to Matt Graham. Trying to pass it across. Loose in the slot. Brennan Young taken down by Graham. Dustin Henning with it. He fires. Pad save made Rutledge. Rebound loose. And Matt Graham denied by a Rutledge who was sliding over to his right. Out of the box, Jake Croup. River Dragons back to full strength. 1-for-1 tonight on the Houston Clinic penalty kill. Columbus able to clear it out to the Port Huron line. Dustin Henning moves this one back into the Columbus end, and Gray goes D-to-D over here for Ozelinch. He sends it down nice, 2-on-1, MJ and Croup. MJ Graham to the middle, and that one just out of the reach of Jake Croup, who was driving the net. Vartiainen has this at the red line, fighting through some stick work there from Croup, who's on the back check. Vartiainen from behind the net on the forehand, wraps it to the middle. Brennan Young had it for a moment, lost it, still loose there. Johnson, right circle, fires off the base of the post. Vartiainen denied again as he had an angle to shoot at. Here's Jagger Williamson, 4-on-2 for the Dragons, who are up on this play. Williamson, right wing to Graham, back for Jagger, bottom of the circles to the middle. Matt Graham will find it and delicately get it away from his own crease. Down the ice it goes. Doyle at his own blue line. Let's go Dragons, the chant here at the Civic Center. Nolan moves this one up to Doe. Austin Doe trying to pass across. Bersani a drive, and that one was sent wide. He had to reach behind him to try and get a stick on it. Loose in the corner off of a scrum. Doe played it to an open area, and Austin Weber reads it first for the Prowlers. Here they come back the other way. Crawford couldn't handle the pass in stride. Petrantonio back to the Port Huron blue line. Federley will dump it in from the red and start up a change. Under 6 minutes to go here in the first. Thanks to that power play, Prowlers have taken the leads in shots, 11-9. Columbus still leads 2-0. Here's Bersani, high slot, fires, stick save, and the rebound goes off into the near corner. Isaiah Crawford with this near side circle. Plays it back behind the net, Quentin Roseboom. Roseboom up the wall for Sura. Now far side. Here's Crawford with some speed and space. Right circle. His shot easily blockered away there by Rutledge. For Sura, checked there by Petrantonio. He'll backhand it out. Oh, Roseboom took a tumble as he caught an edge, but he was able to get back in time. Austin Doe didn't have the gas near the end of his shift. This one sent ahead, knocked down out of the air by Finch. It'll fall for Grade. He tries to give it back to him, but Soilus gets in the way. Soilus trying to play that one to the middle. Good sweeping leg on the block there by Jake Grade to prevent that centering effort. Behind the net, Grade flips this one from his own goal line, gloved out of the air by Roseboom, and he'll put it back in from the right side of red. Under 5 minutes now to play here in the first. The Dragons still lead it by a score of 2-0. Tied up here in the corner, Anderson fishes it out, rims it around. Federley pinching on the play, holds in. Down for Levesque a corner, using the referee as a little bit of a pick there. Now for Soilus, off the side of the net. Loose in the slot. Caleb Williams couldn't get on the end of it. Here's Alex Johnson, left wing circle. Johnson trying to go across the slot and nothing doing. There's too many black sticks in the way. Levi Armstrong plays this one back. Finds Grade off the wall. Columbus is out of their own end. Jake Croup from the red line gets the wheels turning and sends it into the right wing corner. Noonan from behind the net slows this one up here for Johnson. Ooh, Johnson deftly used the back of the net there to get around Jagger Williamson, who was screaming in looking for a turnover. Levesque has it along the half wall. Checked by MJ Graham. Port Huron still can't get it out of their own zone. Levesque fell to a knee, able to just push it out, but Columbus quickly gets possession back. Here's Jake Croup with it, right wing circle. Oh, nice deke through the legs. Croup on the backhand, blocker save made there by Noonan. Croup went through the legs of Levesque. Just a very quick move. Found himself the space, but Noonan makes himself look tall and keeps this game 2-0. Let's take a break. When we come back, the end of the first period, 2-0 Dragons here in the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 3:57 left to go in the Sun South John Deere first period. Dragons 2, Prowlers nothing. Offensive zone draw. Bersani ties up. Columbus wins it. Loose in the slot. Petrantonio backhand, and that one gloved away by Noonan. Petrantonio, who took a big hit there, awkwardly fell on that puck. A penalty is coming up here against the Prowlers as Rutledge hustled off to the bench, but Port Huron will get the touch, and that will be the end of that. Justin Henning is unhappy, pleading his case to the referee, but he will serve 2 minutes cross-checking against the Port Huron captain. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Columbus River Dragons radio network. River Dragons start up their first Georgia Power play of the night. Bersani wins the draw, 7th best in the 17 FPHL at a power play rate of only 11.1%, but a chance to take a 3-0 lead here with this advantage. Frazier into the right wing circle. Austin Doe lost it, but Bersani recollects behind the net. Petrantonio left wing circle to the left point for Dalton Anderson. D to D, Frazier fires a shot, deflected, and Bersani didn't have the angle from the short side. Bersani swept it, but too far for himself. Matt Graham just gets it out off the body of Dalton Anderson, and Anderson lifted the stick because Dalton J was trying to take it away from him. Now here's Petrantonio, gets around a man, drives the net, loose there in front, backhand effort, save made. Doe with it from behind the net, tries to go off Doe, he scores! Austin Doe puts it in off Noonan, power play goal, it's 3-0! Bit of a broken play right there for Columbus, but they'll take it on the man advantage. 1-for-1 on the Georgia Power play thanks to Austin Doe, who is real hot this weekend. From behind the goal line, plays it off of Noonan, who was found out of his crease, popped off him into the goal, and the Dragons are up 3 with 3:06 left to go here in the first. Center ice drop. Here's Dana Barker.
He shoots! River Dragons power play goal scored by number 17, Austin Doe!
Rutledge covers up a short angle shot.
Number 9, Josh Petrantonio at 16:54.
Josh Petrantonio picks up the assist. Doe's power play goal, his 6th of the year, and the Dragons lead it 3-0 here at home. Austin Doe, a goal and 2 assists. Bersani, 2 goals. Petrantonio, 2 assists. I'd say it's a pretty effective line here tonight for Jerome Bichard. Trevor Finch on the near side wall, able to chip it out of the zone. Joe Pace from the red line gives it to Weber. Weber on the backhand sends this one into the corner where Crawford's first on it. He put it behind the net weakly, and Ozelinch will be there. Rims it around, held in by a pinching Dustin Henning. Behind the net, here's Grade, near side corner. He'll chip this one out. Way too hard on that. It'll be an icing call against Columbus as Port Huron wins the race. Dustin Henning and Joe Pace having a little race between themselves to the hash marks. 2:25 left to go here in period 1. Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing. Bersani with the first 2, and then just recently, Austin Doe on the power play from underneath the goal line makes it 3. Levesque wins that one forward. Pass to the middle, and Grade was able to tie up Soilus just enough, and that one knocked off some skates, and it goes out into the neutral zone off a Columbus stick. That's Justin Schmidt sending it in. Behind the net, this one will be found by Alex Johnson. He's got speed. Johnson moves that one from the red line, puts it off the skates of Soilus, still on sides though. Williams plays it for Johnson. High slot, fires off the bar. Beat Rutledge to the blocker's side, but put that one right on the corner of the crossbar and the near side post. Levesque with this right wing circle, spins away from a check. He's got it on the backhand, goes behind the net, played off the side of the cage. Caleb Williams tied up and couldn't do anything with it. Brad Nolan can't get around a man. Puck goes free for Jagger Williamson. Safe play off the glass and down. The Port Huron will have it in their own end. Alex Johnson rims around towards the near side wall. Austin Federley with it here. He'll give it back for Johnson. Johnson's getting near the end of his shift, doesn't have that same gusto as he did from the beginning, and offsides as Larry Vartiainen tried to drag the leg back, but didn't have the go-go gadget legs out to keep himself in the blue. 129 left to go here in the first. Prowlers out shooting the Dragons 14-12, but 3 of them have gone in, and now Alex Johnson is having a conversation with Jagger Williamson, and Johnson is hot. He came out of nowhere, was about to go to his bench, made a hard left turn, and looks to be gesturing at Jagger Williamson. MJ Graham is staying in front of Jagger, saying if Johnson wants a piece of somebody, it'll be him. We had some whistling and pointing. It looks like the referee had a everyone calm down moment, and Alex Johnson just threw his helmet down in that Port Huron players bench. So a whole lot of shouting and screaming, a whole lot of pointing, but we'll still skate 5-on-5 here. 1:29 left to go in the first. Port Huron wins the draw, but Petrantonio took it away, tries to chip it to himself, ends up being on net, and it's gloved there by Noonan. And he will take a whistle in his own end now. 1:23 left to go here in the first. Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing. And you remarked, 3-3, you knew it was going to get spicy eventually. Took a little bit longer maybe than we were expecting, but in that time, Dragons played some good hockey, jumped out to a big lead. Frazeau's shot right off the face-off, and a good glove save made by Noonan, and he'll do it again coming up to his left. Well, especially when we consider this time a week ago, the way the game went up in Watertown for Port Huron, it did get a little silly at the end of the second period when the score got out of hand. Great deflect, Petrantonio off the face-off, but Noonan made a good save ranging to his left. Petrantonio from an E, put that to Bersani in the corner. Doe with it now near side. Austin Doe, right wing circle, dodges, high slot, his shot blocked in front by Dalton Jay. On the follow-through, Jay might have gotten clipped there. He was looking for a call, but none coming. Last minute of play here in the Sun South John Deere first period on the cycle. Bersani inadvertently hits the official. Port Huron's able to get it and send it down ice. Frazeau in front of his own bench. Check there. Bersani rubs shoulders, and he lost his momentum. Dalton Jay took it away from him. Vartiainen and Graham, little one touch between the two. Vartiainen trying to drive the net, high slot, taken off of his stick, and off of the boards, held in left point by Henning. Frazeau trying to race after this. Dalton Jay plays it to the middle. Good stick right there by Finch. Knocks that one away from a dangerous area. 30 seconds left to go here in the first. Long pass ahead. Henning knocks it down from just outside the blue. Prowlers have to touch it up. Jay sends it in. That's off the skates of Armstrong. He'll eventually find it. Chip around the boards, trying to get around Roseboom. Levi Armstrong then couldn't get back to the puck. And now here's Brennan Young taking it in the far corner. 10 seconds left to go. One more rush perhaps for Port Huron if they hustle. Look out, a turnover. Anderson can't come into the zone though as Levi Armstrong had gone to finish off his hit. 2 seconds and 1, and that does it for the opening 20 minutes of play. Heck of a period from the River Dragons, and the Columbus faithful are going to serenade them as they head their way off the ice. 2 early goals from Hunter Bersani and a power play tally from Austin Doe, and Alex Johnson is still screaming at the Columbus bench as he makes his way off. I'm not sure what was said, what's been going on between the two. We have seen a lot of gesturing, a lot of talking. Of course, Alex Johnson actually scrapped with Jay Krupp back in Biloxi on Thursday. So with how many fights and how much aggressiveness we've seen in this series, I tell you what, it's no surprise that even though these guys are probably gassed 3 games and 3 nights in 2 different cities, they're going on pure adrenaline. You might see something crazy coming up in the second or even the third. But for right now, the teams take a break. Relax, rested up in the room. 3-0 Columbus leads as we get ready for the John Emerald Distilling first intermission report. It starts up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward. And we're taking you there. Progress. Your Beam. Your way.
I'm Alicia Lawrence, the Director of Communications for Muskogee County School District, and I am so excited about this year's United Way campaign. I've been given for over 5 years to the United Way of the Chattahoochee Valley, and I think it's so important that we top our goals this year and go even above for our community during this tough year. If you want to give, go ahead and reach out to unitedwayofvcv.org today to find out how you can contribute.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center on the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report. Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing through 20 minutes of play. John Emerald Distilling, proud partner of Ignite Sports and Entertainment, not only sponsoring our first intermission report, but proud provider of our coaches show. You hear Tuesday nights, 6 to 7 p.m. If you're listening in on your car or across the radio stations, you don't got to change that dial anywhere from right here to tune in to everything River Dragons talk. We recap the weekend that was, talk about what's coming up, and usually have some fun mixing it up with a player guest or two, and also Jerome Boom Boom Bichard, as always, on the show with myself. Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m., the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show right here on the River Dragons Radio Network. Through 20 minutes of play, Columbus, they got off to a hot start. First shot of the game belonged to Hunter Bersani, froze the goaltender with a fake shot, and then nice forehand to backhand deke, slid it home for his third of the year. 46 seconds into the game, set this crowd that was still filling in on fire, and it was 1-0 Columbus early. Then, on the fourth shot of the game and second shot for Bersani, he also finds the net blocker side. 4:12 mark for that one. Bersani, his second and then fourth of the year. 25, Tom Maldonado. 17, Austin Doe on the assist. And then Austin Doe, he'll get in on the scoring himself on a power play effort. Josh Petrantonio drove the net. Joe Noonan getting a little more aggressive as he got more comfortable in the first. And aggression might have come back to bite him as he was out of his crease as the puck went free underneath the goal line. And Austin Doe, the wily veteran, with a heads-up move from behind the net, plays it off of Noonan, and it goes in for the goal. Power play effort for the River Dragons makes it 3-0. That's how we sit through 20 minutes of play. Dragons 1 for 1 on the Georgia Power play from that Doe goal, and 1 for 1 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill. Shots on goal, they are even at 14 apiece. 3-0 Columbus as the Zamboni makes its way onto the ice. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we have a look around the league, brought to you by Zelmo's after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
The Chattahoochee's favorite place for spirits in the valley is John Emerald Distilling Company in Opelika. Conveniently located in beautiful downtown Opelika, they're open Monday through Saturday for tours, tasting, and bottle sales. Not in Opelika? No problem. From Birmingham to Columbus, there's plenty of places where John Emerald originals are sold. Check out some of their favorite recipes at johnemeralddistilling.com and give them a follow on social media at JED Spirits on Twitter and Instagram.
Dressing for success is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Wade Cleaners. Drop off your garment at any one of their 5 convenient branches or call their valet manager to pick them up. Go do something fun. Walk your dog, eat a hot fudge sundae, or go to a movie. Leave the dirty laundry to them. Pick up your professionally clean garments or have them delivered at no additional charge to your home or office. Yes, you too can dress for success with Wade Cleaners. Oh, and don't forget the little people as you move up in the world.
Who wants a copy when you can own the real thing? At Heckler & Koch, the foundation for everything we do is an unswerving commitment to excellence. Shooters of Columbus at 4445 Milton Road is your local area premium stocking dealer for all your favorite Heckler & Koch products. They also have an indoor range with rentals available, from rifles and pistols to ammo and holsters. There's no better choice in the firearm business than Heckler & Koch.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing through 20 minutes of play. I'm Zach DeBozart. We're on the John Emerald Distilling First Intermission Report. Bersani, not once but twice, and Austin Doe, your goal scorers so far in this one. Time to take a look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo's. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions. Both games, other than this one in the Northeast, let's start in the state of Connecticut. The Danbury Hat-Tricks hosting the Delaware Thunder for the second of 2. And there are halfway through this one, about 9 minutes or so left to go in the second, and it is 1-0 Hat-Tricks. 6:41 into the second, Tom Mealy picks up a power play goal after J.C. Moritz sent the puck out of play on a delay of game. That's the only penalty to speak of in that game, too. So, been even strength the whole time. Delaware had been hanging with them. Danbury out shooting the Thunder by a tally of 22-8 right now. But all it took was 17 seconds of man advantage time for the Hat-Tricks, and they have that 1-0 lead, again, about halfway through that game right now. Elsewhere in the Northeast, we take it to New York, where Watertown is at Binghamton, and they are also about halfway through. Both these games started at 7 o'clock on the dot, so not surprising they're a little off sync with us. We started at 7:30. But right now, the Watertown Wolves playing the part of rude house guests. They lead 3-1 over the Binghamton Black Bears. Watertown and Binghamton traded goals early in the first. Cole McKechnie first for the Wolves, Sam Halecki for the Bears, and then 2 goals in a span of 32 seconds. Colin Chamelka and Justin McDonald, 13:52 and 14:24 respectively, have made the game 3-1 Wolves. Shots on goal, though, favor Binghamton by a tally of 24-19. And that first period wasn't without a little bit of fisticuffs, too. How about Lane King going against Jens Gronbeck-Peterson? Those two had a pretty healthy scrap with about a minute and a half to go in the first. That's your look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo Zip-In, the official fuel provider of the Columbus River Dragons. We do have some midweek games to look forward to in the Fed. Watertown is at Danbury for a 7 o'clock puck drop on Wednesday the 8th. And then on Thursday the 9th, Carolina and Port Huron start up a 3-game in 2-city set. This one a little more grueling on the Prowlers. Thursday and Friday will be at McMorran, and then Saturdays at Winston-Salem. That's going to be a tough one for them. So that's your midweek look ahead in the Fed. Now time to take a peek at the Southern Hockey scoreboard quickly. We're following the SPHL and 1 or 2 games in the ECHL as well. Getting down to the wire at the Crown Coliseum, 6 minutes left to go in the third. Roanoke and Fayetteville tied at 1. Pensacola 3, Macon nothing. The Mayhem yet to find the back of the net in their own building in this game. 20 minutes left to go there. Evansville 1, Birmingham nothing. 14:17 to go in the first. Also early first, 13 minutes left to go in it. And Huntsville has a 2-0 lead on the road at Vermilion County. And Peoria at Quad City, 5 minutes gone in the first, no score between those Midwestern rivals. We're also following the ECHL. Last night's South Carolina battle was a barn burner. 7-6, Greenville won it in overtime. This one between Greenville and South Carolina, not nearly as offensively powered, but with 9:29 left to go in the third, South Carolina does hold a 3-2 lead over the Swamp Rabbits. Stingrays got their last 2 goals from Lawton Courtnall. Jackson Leaf for Greenville brought the Swamp Rabbits back within 1 in the early stage of the third. quick bit of offense in the Norfolk Admirals Atlanta Gladiators game. Atlanta gets on the board first with Hugo Waugh, 1-0, but then Norfolk 2 straight to end the period. Anthony Gagnon and Cody Milan are your goal scorers there. That's your look at the Southern Hockey scoreboard. Let's take another break. When we come back, we get ourselves ready for the Wild Animal Safari second period coming up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
When talking about Harvey Lumber over the past few years, I've always felt that it was very important to brag on the fact that Harvey Lumber has been here for over 150 years, taking care of many generations throughout the Chattahoochee Valley. They've stayed in business by always featuring the very best building materials that every company has to offer. And what's the most important element in building materials? The wood you use. That's why you'll always find the Yellowwood brand available at Harvey Lumber. Now there's something new, Yellowwood Protector. You've probably seen it advertised a lot during your favorite SEC football games on Saturdays. Yellowwood Protector is a semi-transparent stain and water-repellent wood sealer for decks, fences, pergolas, outdoor furniture, and pretty much anything you can build with Yellowwood. Yellowwood Protector comes in 4 different colors: smoky gray, rich walnut, American classic cedar, and crystal clear. You know we always say that if it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it. Now try the first stain worthy of the yellow tag, Yellowwood Protector. Available at Harvey Lumber Company, 800 15th Street, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
Gulf Eagle Supply specializes in servicing the professional roofing contractor and also provides a variety of products and services to the homeowner, building owner, architect, and general contractor. Our goal to the contractor is not only to provide competitive material pricing, but also to help them build their business and assist in their success. We do this with knowledgeable sales personnel and through our core values. As we say, Gulf Eagle, we got a solution for that. Call us today at 706-550-1555. Gulf Eagle Supply.
We're back here at the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing through 20 minutes of play. Some lively discussion happening up here in the broadcast booth because that certain football game is over between our two states that we find ourselves on the border on. Hold on. Spoiler alert in case you're listening in and have the game taped or something at home. All right, Alabama wins 41-24. Creates a very interesting college football playoff situation that we're all lively debating up here. But now that that game's over, we are focusing in on hockey for the rest of the night. And with the Dragons kicking themselves off to a great start in this one, 3-0. One line got all of the scoring. It's the Bersani, Doe, and Petrantonio line. Doe, a goal and 2 assists. Bersani, 2 goals. Petrantonio, 2 assists. But all 3 lines right now, you can tell, are really working for Jerome Bichard. Prowlers got a lot of shots on their power play, which has kept them even in the shot totals, 14-14. But right now, if Columbus just continues to start periods the way they have in 2 of their last 3, you think back to the second period in game number 2 of this set on Friday, and then the first period here, I mean, it just shows you how dangerous of a team they are and how even though it's early season and the standings are very volatile, this is not a 6th place team out of 7 in the FPHL. This Columbus team is dangerous. They showed what they can do in the first, and if they keep their foot down on the pedal, well, they might be exercising some demons from the whooping they unfortunately received in Watertown just about a week or so ago. I know this crowd here in the Civic Center would certainly love that. They've been getting loud all game, and they're going to keep it up here for another 40 minutes or so. Let's take a break. When we come back, teams should be back out on the ice, and we should be ready for the Wild Animal Safari second period after this in the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
The Chattahoochee's favorite place for spirits in the valley is John Emerald Distilling Company in Opelika. Conveniently located in beautiful downtown Opelika, they're open Monday through Saturday for tours, tasting, and bottle sales. Not in Opelika? No problem. From Birmingham to Columbus, there's plenty of places where John Emerald originals are sold. Check out some of their favorite recipes at johnemeralddistilling.com and give them a follow on social media at JED Spirits on Twitter and Instagram.
At the Country Inn & Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, River Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing. And the teams are just about to step onto the ice for the Wild Animal Safari second period. Raise the bar with the next generation of light beer. Flight by Yuengling is easy drinking, clean, crisp, and refreshing. Flight is only 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs, and 4.2 alcohol by volume. Flight by Yuengling, the official light beer partner of your Columbus River Dragons. Crowd's having some fun with the high five cam rolling around, finding all the different fans here in the Civic Center. The suites are lively and packed tonight. In fact, our intermission game featured somebody from the suites, and I believe the Sassers Auto and Paint Store group having some fun down there on the ice. And now the ice is clear, it is dry. We are ready for the teams to return to the ice. Here come the referees down the tunnel. And when the River Dragons come out, they will be led by Jared Rutledge, who has been perfect so far in this one. 14 saves on 14 shots. And the River Dragons will attack right to left across your radio dial and TV screens in the Wild Animal Safari second period, dressed in the all-black look, gray numbers with teal trim and the blackout C logo on the chest. Those boos also let you know that the Prowlers have stepped out onto the ice. Prowlers dressed in the white jerseys with the chest band red and the Circle PH logo, red helmets and red pants. They will go left to right as Joe Noonan plows the driveway over to our left. Tough first period of action for him as a pro, 11 saves on 14 shots. It's a period of the long change, and Port Huron finds themselves in a hole. What can be done about it for them? 3-0 Dragons lead it. Teams are shuffling between themselves, and with the period of the long change and of course coming out of opposite tunnels, that's provided a lot of crossover, a lot of chance for some talking, some chit chat. Alex Johnson is among them. I believe he's talking with Jay Krupp right now as they are both out to start the period. MJ Graham, Jagger Williamson, Jay Krupp the forward line, Noah Doyle, Brad Nolan on D, Levesque, Soilis, Williams with Federley and Johnson on the back end. It's spicy. There's something going to happen. You get a feeling. I think that's Schmidt who's got a leg over the boards. He wants to come on this line. He's going to be not allowed to do that. Tied up in the feet. Soilis has it. We are underway here in the Wild Animal Safari second period. Soilis right wing circle fires a pad save made by Rutledge from an acute angle. MJ Graham will flip this one to center. Federley bobbled it. Jagger Williamson had it, and he dove with the puck, and we have a hand pass called as Johnson, I guess, got enough of a touch on that off of Federley's glove for the hand pass. Justin Schmidt is in the face-off circle. You know something's coming. Now he'll give it up to Jagger Williamson. Schmidt's out there. Looks like he's talking. He's pointing at Alex Johnson. River Dragons win this draw. It's dumped in. Right wing side from Doyle. Ribbed around the boards. Nolan fires one from the left point. That one's blocked in front by Henning. Everyone's keeping their eyes and ears up. Johnson and Schmidt near each other as they back check into the neutral zone. Port Huron with the puck off the soft dump. Soilis with it here. Soilis, right wing side, will skate this one in. He's at the bottom of the circles. Fires. Save made there by Rutledge. Johnson getting near the netminder. Schmidt and Doyle both talking with him. The linesman will get in the way. Well, it's always interesting how it can happen with a lot of animosity on the ice, a lot of talking. And in this game specifically, it seems to be revolving at and around Alex Johnson for Port Huron. And you know he's been offered more than a handful of times, especially when that last shift when Justin Schmidt seemed to be trailing him everywhere he went. Johnson will now sit. 40 seconds gone here in the second. And we'll see what the rest of this period will unfold for us. Hey, we didn't say it. Someone's getting slobbered on. It's the Wild Animal Safari second period. Columbus dumps this one down. Dustin Henning will collect it behind his own net. He's being chased there hard on the forecheck by Austin Doe. He'll go down the length of the ice, gets around Frazier, but he got a touch on it, so no icing. Weird hop off the kick plate. Rutledge was ready for it behind the net. Played it to the far corner, and then running into the referee is Brennan Young. That'll be a turnover for him. And Frazier sends us around. Petrantonio, weak backhand. Pace left point. Shot, stick save made Rutledge. Rebound here on the near side circle, and Austin Doe will find it. Doe, long stretch pass, just out of the reach of Petrantonio. Geometry's on, though. Noonan has to play it. Sends that one skyward, down the ice. Icing is off because Caleb Williams won the race. Rutledge comes side of his net to play it. Brennan Young couldn't handle it along the half wall. Petrantonio had it go by him, but it does leak out into the neutral zone. 18:26 to go here in the second, and now icing on as the cross-ice pass was on the wrong side of the red line, and the Prowlers are not going to be able to change behind this. 18:24 left to go here in the second. Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing. Prowlers with the first 3 shots in this period, though, trying to cut into this large Columbus lead. Matt Graham, Dalton Anderson. Matt Graham will win it. Big check there in the corner. Knocks Dustin Henning down. Zach Frisura sends it over to an open left wing. Grade couldn't settle a bouncing puck. And into the corner it goes. Brennan Young and Grade, they cancel out. Grade getting the better of that on the wall. And it gets moved around the near side boards. Held in by Henning, who did a good job pinching on the play. He's tied up with Finch. Henning still with it on his stick, trying to get around his own man, Matt Graham. Weak shot, easily sticked away by Rutledge. Grade from behind the net gets this one up here to Jagger Williamson. Williamson chips this one ahead for Finch. Excuse me, that was Armstrong who chipped it ahead. Finch from behind the net takes a check from Federley, and this one will be sent around by the Prowlers' Dustin Henning. Brad Nolan in his own end, near side circle. D to D over for Doyle. 17:40 left to go here in the second. 3-0. Dragons currently lead it. Stretch pass ahead. Jay Krupp breakaway, fires and hits the post. Jay Krupp in all alone, hit the blue line perfectly with the pass, but just couldn't beat the iron. He beat Joe Noonan to the glove hand side. Tie up here along the half wall, 2-on-2 battle. Port Huron trying to vulture it out, and they succeed. Vartiainen sends this one to the middle. Here's Mo Levesque, now left wing side to Dalton Jay, and the pass was behind him. Columbus takes it back over. MJ Graham back to forehand here, and his pass across ice is read by Federley. He comes in over the line. Federley stood up top of the circles there by Nolan, and that slows up that play. Jagger Williamson finds the scraps. Doyle, long pass ahead. Jay Krupp trying to find it off the wall. Couldn't get the touch, and icing is on as Alex Johnson wins that race to the hash marks. 16:56 left to go here in the second. Dragons 3, Prowlers nothing. Columbus with a little bit of tired bodies out there. They have to defend against a draw that will come up to Rutledge's right. Mo Levesque and Jagger Williamson set to take this draw. Levesque wins it to the left point. Johnson shot blocked in front. Caleb Williams and Brad Nolan were shoulder to shoulder on that one. Backhand flip off the glass. Johnson with it here. MJ Graham lays a check onto him at the red line. Noah Doyle from off the wall. Johnson reads it at his own blue. Plays it ahead to the right wing. Stoilis kicked it into the zone. Stavros Stoilis checked there by Nolan as they both fall to the ice. Into the corner it goes. Williamson fishes it out. Plays it to the top of the circles. Krupp stick lifted. Puck still in zone for the Prowlers. Levesque with it. Right wing hash marks to the middle. Nobody home in a white jersey. And here's Petrantonio back the other way. Gains the red line and dumps that one down. A bouncer, false side of the net. Noonan will stick it behind. Here's Alex Johnson looking for an outlet pass. Left wing side, he hits Caleb Williams. He can't settle it on his stick, though. Columbus finds it, flipped up into the air. Petrantonio has to let a bouncing puck fall to him. Left circle, to the point now. Frazier, shot blocked by Soilis. And out to the neutral zone it goes for Maldonado to have at the red line. 4 minutes gone here in the second. River Dragons looking for their first shot of the period, but they put 3 past Joe Noonan in the first to lead it 3-0 here at the Civic Center. Austin Doe, soft dump in after he read a neutral zone feed. Johnson, D to D for Sura, sends this one over. Isaiah Crawford racing after it. Frejo first to it. On the backhand, geometry was off on the pass to Doe. Bersani will get it, then quickly knocked off of him on a body check. Frejo stands up Isaiah Crawford. Icing is on here as Maldonado wins the race to the hash marks. 15:29 to go here in the second. 3-0. Dragons lead, and Frisura is not going to be able to change as it was an icing call, and both Frisura and Crawford in a bit of disbelief. So a slightly tired unit for the Prowlers out there right now. Weber to take this draw against Anderson. Weber wins it clean into the corner, near side in the zone to our left. It's a 3-on-2 battle. MJ Graham is pinned up against the wall. Johnson is trying to fish it out. Excuse me, that's Finch pinned up against the wall. Johnson will eventually work it out of feet. This one out of the air. Couldn't be gloved by Oslynch. Crawford with it, right circle, fires, and a pad save made by Rutledge. And we get a penalty behind the play. Elbowing is the call. And Levi Armstrong is being escorted to the box. So a hit behind the play. Elbowing the call. And Levi Armstrong sits for 2. Second Houston Clinic penalty kill of the night. Houston Clinic helping the River Dragons get back to full strength. Face-off coming to the right of Jared Rutledge. Petrantonio Villavec on it. Petrantonio wins it clean. Doyle slaps it around, goes high over the head of the man holding the point. That's Henning, and down the ice for Noonan to tee up. Noonan fakes the pass the far side, rims it around near side. Petrantonio was racing after it, but Brennan Young got there first. Port Huron gets ready, sets up on this rush. Here's Dustin Henning, and over the line, left wing side. Doyle chops at him, finds a loose puck, and sends it down ice. 25 seconds already gone in this Armstrong minor. And right now, Prowlers haven't even sustained zone time, much less gotten a shot. Brennan Young with this right wing circle. On the backhand, being watched by Nolan. Behind the net he goes, run out of space. Frejo couldn't get it on his stick, center to the middle. Levesque poked it back out top. Right point, Vartiainen down into the corner for Levesque. Back to the right point, Vartiainen. D to D, slap pass, right circle. Levesque has it to the middle, and Brennan Young and his stick lifted at the right moment. Petrantonio dumps this one down, and Columbus gets a fresh 4 out there. 1 minute left to go in the Armstrong minor. Prowlers on the man advantage here. Vartiainen carefully skating this one out of his own zone. Now a crisp pass over to Federley at the right point. He goes D to D across for Alex Johnson, who's fresh off a change. Johnson in the corner for Dalton J. Rims this one around. Behind the net, now to the far near corner, Frejo tries to backhand this one out. Held in at the right point. Here's Dalton J. J trying to get around a man. Instead, it's Finch. Anderson coming the other way. Anderson gets it over to Finch. Finch fires, shoulder save. Made there by Noonan. A 2-on-1 opportunity after Dalton J made a move to try and get around Anderson, and Anderson didn't budge an inch and created a nice effort back the other way, shorthanded. Still 15 seconds left in this Armstrong penalty. Here's Frisura skating this one in over the line. 3-on-3 as he hits it left wing. Frisura trying to drop it back. He collects it himself along the half wall. This one played to the middle, gloved out of the air, no hand pass. Still in the defensive zone for Columbus. MJ Graham off the wall, and Levi Armstrong out of the box. 2 for 2 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill tonight are the Dragons. Under 13 minutes to play here in the second. Weber moves this one off the far side wall. Crawford on the forecheck, had it go off his body. Weber held it in for a moment, then knocked off of his stick. MJ Graham played it to an open wing. Nobody home in a black jersey, so Frisura will have it in his own end. Frisura goes off the wall here for the captain Henning. His cross-ice pass. Geometry was all kinds of off. Nolan will have it. Near side circle in his own end. 12.5 to go now in period 2. MJ Graham has that one go off of Henning. Falls right back for him. Graham head fakes one way. Backhand spinorama. He's in over the line. Left wing circle. A pass across the crease. And a stick save made there by Noonan. Soilus sends this one down to the Columbus Blue. Nolan bobbled it there for a moment. Isaiah Crawford trying to turn him over. He'll put it down deep in the corner. Frisura boxing out. He's got it. Bottom of the circle shot. Blocked in front there by Doyle. Now Frisura with it. High slot. Taking some stick work. Couldn't fire the shot off cleanly. And it's poked off of his stick out to center. Henning gets it at his own blue line, trying to work it up the right wing side. Columbus trying to sneak a body off on a change. Back to the defense. Doyle slaps this one down. Stretch pass. Petrantonio couldn't knock it down. He negates icing and forces Noonan coming out to play it. Here's Henning with it on the near side circle. Henning sends this one only to the red line. Frazier on the touch pass, knocked away by Soilis. He'll send it in 100 feet, and this will be sticked down by Rutledge from behind the nets. Petrantonio checked there along the half wall. Cool as you like, made the pass, and Columbus dished it out. Henning knocks sticks there with Bersani. It falls deeper into the Port Huron end. Held in left point by Frazier. Frazier, left wing, bottom of the circle. He's on the back end as he takes it behind. Frazier comes out with it. Forehand shot across the crease, and nobody touching it back door to send it home. Left point held in by Maldonado. Backhand, Doe works it to Bersani behind the net, who's on hat-trick watch. Bersani with it, right wing corner, being checked there. Starts a cycle. Frazier with it along the half wall now. To Armstrong, that one goes over his stick, rims all the way around, and a backhand effort gets tied up in some feet. Doe lost it off the stick of Soilis. Holding this one in nicely here is Maldonado. Behind the Port Huron net it goes. Columbus with the bench right there, trying to change a few bodies and keep the Prowlers hemmed in. 10:38 to go here in period 2. 3-0 Dragons. Levesque in front of the benches. Sends this one to the red line for Caleb Williams. 3-on-3 as he hits the line left wing. Williams with it, bottom of the circle. Rims this one around. And the River Dragons take possession over in their own end, near circle with Finch. Finch, a chip off the boards. Armstrong trying to race after it. He's near the end of his shift, though. Johnson will beat him out to it. Armstrong signaling to the bench he's coming. On a send ahead, Vartiainen quickly turned it over. Columbus trying to make some hay with it. Nothing going, and left wing is just dumped in here by Anderson as the River Dragons finish off that change, try and reset their lines. We're halfway through the second period. Here's Alex Johnson with speed ahead. 3-on-2 as he hits the line. A pass right wing to Dalton Jay. Going back to Johnson, and a stick save made by Rutledge, and Johnson got a little bit of a tap there. Brad Nolan letting Alex Johnson know he didn't care for that. Those two go at each other again in the corner. Matt Graham centering that one to the middle. That one cleared away by the Dragons. Now here's a chance ahead. 2-on-1 if Columbus hustles. MJ Graham's got it on his stick. Driving the net. Gets a pass across. Great glove save there by Noonan. Noah Doyle pinching up on the play. Read the opportunity. Great feed from Graham. Better save from the rookie netminder. This one played into the zone. MJ couldn't touch it. He was on the wrong side of the blue for a delayed offsides. Pace from behind the net. Sends it around. Weird hop off the kick plate, and Krupp couldn't pinch it off. Now here comes Vartiainen in over the line for Port Huron. Right circle, Vartiainen, his shot blocked in front. Looks like that one fell into the skates of Frazier. Krupp, long stretch pass, MJ Graham onside, and he'll win the race. No icing. Noonan has to come out and play it before MJ can get to it, though. MJ loses his stick as it got caught in between a couple of bodies battling. Now 2-on-1 for Port Huron. Young drops it back, and Crawford scores. A 2-on-1 developed with Young and Weber, and rather than passing it across, Young left it for Isaiah Crawford, who must have been yelling for it. His shot just goes underneath the glove hand of Rutledge, and it's 3-1. I got to say, you got to appreciate some of the creativity the Prowlers' secondary lines have on these 2-on-1, and in that case, 3-on-1 opportunities. Did not look like a 3-on-1 at all, but Isaiah Crawford with speed coming in. And after the drop from Young, the Detroit, Michigan native makes this game 3-1, his fourth goal of the year. We're back underway. Columbus wins the draw, and Petrantonio puts that one off the turnbuckle between the two benches, and that'll let us get to our media timeout. 30 seconds, and we're back here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Who wants a copy when you can own the real thing? At Heckler & Koch, the foundation for everything we do is an unswerving commitment to excellence. Shooters of Columbus at 4445 Milton Road is your local area premium stocking dealer for all your favorite Heckler & Koch products. They also have an indoor range with rentals available, from rifles and pistols to ammo and holsters. There's no better choice in the firearm business than Heckler & Koch.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 8:51 left to go in the Wild Animal Safari second period. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Thanks to Isaiah Crawford from Brennan Young, as we mentioned. Crawford his fourth goal of the year. And it's brought the Prowlers back within 2. Out of the media timeout, chance for benches to talk amongst themselves or maybe in this case do a little bit of chit-chat between, as we're still seeing some more of the conversations between these two who have played 3 in 3 nights across 2 cities. It's been a grueling series and 1 game apiece between the two, so weekend bragging rights on the line. Dalton Anderson, left circle, fires a shot. It's shrugged off there by Noonan. Anderson being checked there by Pace. That puck goes between everybody's legs. And Crawford, the Port Huron goal scorer, trying to send it out. Goes off a body, falls back for him. Anderson able to intercept a pass. Lost an edge, though, and can only play it back into the Port Huron end. Icing is on here as Weber couldn't get a touch at the red line. And Ozelinch wins the race uncontested. 8:21 left to go here in period 2. Dragons right now leading the Prowlers 3-1. On the back of goals, all in the first period. From this unit that's on the ice right now for Columbus. Bersani in the dot. He's got 2 of them. Doe's on the far wing. He's got the other. Doyle has this off the win into the right wing corner. Bersani checked there by Pace. And it goes back behind the net now for Weber. Weber sends this one around. Young on the far side wall. Nice sidestep around one. Pass to the middle for Weber. He's taking some stick work there from Bersani, and a good back check right there. Stops up his progress. Now to the left wing side. Here's Austin Doe. He's got Petrantonio streaking on the far wing. Doe lost it at the blue line, but still came in on sides. A backhand drop for Brad Nolan. Left wing circle. Nolan, a tight angle shot, and blockered away by Noonan, holding onto that post. Nolan takes a check. Doe comes in to help out. Pace immediately pinning him against the wall. Now Weber's trying to vulture it out here for Port Huron. Backhand send around by Manzo. And we'll go to the near side wall. Soilis is being bothered here by Bersani. Pace finds a loose puck. Sends a D to D across, and Port Huron's out of their own end with a dump down. Frazier on the backhand. MJ Graham waiting for it here. Now turns it up ice. Graham gets the legs going right wing side, but good stick there by Mo Levesque. Takes it off him. Port Huron back the other way, 2-on-2. Stavros Soilis in too tight there with Caleb Williams. That pass goes off the heel of his stick and into the corner. Here's Frazier with it here. Frazier trying to get it out. Williams immediately ties him up. It's a 2-on-2 battle in the zone to our right over the left shoulder of Rutledge. Now 3-on-3. And another forward. Jagger Williamson comes in now for Columbus. Levesque, a backhand hard to the middle. Nobody home in a Prowlers jersey as the defense recovering. Now there's Henning. He lost it to MJ Graham. Icing is on, though, as his pass missed its intended target. And down the ice, Prowlers and Quentin Roseboom have the icing call. 6:42 left to go here in the second. Wild Animal Safari, proud sponsors of this second period of play. Go see them up in Pine Mountain, Georgia. Whistles and timeout called here by Columbus. The timeout called by Columbus, and we're behind on a break. So let's take 30 seconds with them on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
.42 left to go here in the second. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1 here at the Columbus Civic Center. Our third of 3 in a row between these two teams that started a series in Biloxi, Mississippi, and has ended with 2 here at the Civic Center. Columbus wins the draw, but Henning pitching on the play, far side wing, is able to hold it in. Frazier tries to send this one out. He hits Matt Graham with the outlet. Left wing corner, blockered away by Rutledge, and a backhand from Graham. Williamson finds it out of feet. Nice toe drag move, sends it ahead. Here's Schmidt, puts it in the path of MJ Graham. Graham trying to get around Roseboom. He's got speed, but he's running out of space. Behind the net, he's with it on the forehand to the middle, and Schmidt couldn't get a stick on it there. Ozelinch sends that one into the corner. Schmidt in front of Roseboom in front of Schmidt, but that was a good stick lift there by Justin Schmidt. Keeps this play alive for Columbus. On the backhand, Grade holds it in. MJ Graham in the corner with Quentin Roseboom. Those two had a heck of a tilly last night. On the near side boards, Roseboom fishes it off the wall, sends it ahead to Graham, and now Port Huron has numbers 3-on-2 if they hustle. Jay through the middle, sends that one over to Vartiainen. Pass just out of his reach, and Columbus sweeps the sticks on defense to get it away from him, full stop. Justin Schmidt had it tied up in his feet as Federley clashed with him as he collected that pass. Matt Graham finds the scraps, and here's Federley back the other way for the Prowlers. 3-on-4 as he hits the line, right wing side. Federley trying to dipsy-doodle around Ozelinch, and that's a big body to try and shimmy around. Now look out, shot left circle, Johnson, and a stick save made there by Rutledge. Dalton Jay gets it to himself, backhand effort sent wide of the blocker hand on Rutledge. Ozelinch off the glass, down the ice. It's rolling on edge. It will not have the legs for icing, and Johnson has to grab it bottom of circles. 5:13 left to go here in the second. And now this puck falls free for Dalton Jay. 2-on-2 as he hits the line to the middle. Jay fires, and that one, I don't know if it fell off the end of a stick or what, but it fluttered wide of the glove hand. Columbus has it in their own end. Brad Nolan rimming this one around. Here's Finch. Finch near side circled. Backhand sends it out. Port Huron back in, and they touch up on the delayed offsides. Columbus only can get it to the red line this time. Now Frisura skates it into the zone, trying to pass it right wing side to Weber, and he hits a body and runs out of room. Tie up in front of the penalty boxes. Finch sweeps the stick. Nolan hits it with a low one, and he comes in over the line 2-on-2. Nolan fires, and a save made by Noonan, and we get our final media timeout of the period. 4:30 left to go here in the second. Still 3-1 Dragons here in the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
King Claw is one of the most popular destinations for seafood enthusiasts. King Claw is inspired by the Viet Cajun elegance of boil and bag seafood that holds all the juicy flavor of the ocean. Then we add our very own unique mixture of the best spices that take the taste to another level. We can confirm that you won't find our flavor anywhere else. We collect the freshest seafood, prepare them as you order, and we encourage you to grab your hand in the bag to enjoy the heavenly taste of our signature seafood combinations. We believe that having quality and fresh foods with friends and family is the best feeling in the world. Come, open up a bag and enjoy the best seafood in town where the ultimate juiciness waits for you. Call 706-507-3845 to order.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 4:30 left to go in the second. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. River Dragons hockey brought to you all season long by Sherry and her crew of master barbers at Old School Barbershop, the official barbershop of your Columbus River Dragons. 1041 First Avenue in Columbus. They're open 10 a.m. Monday. Call for an appointment, 706-321-5930, or book it online, oldschoolbarbershop.com, or on the Old School Barbershop Facebook page. Port Huron is able to force this one out. Now it's sent across, and Columbus comes back into the zone. Right wing side with Maldonado. Maldonado from the corner, playing it to the middle, and Pace with a good stick there, reads it. Sent around to the near side. Here's Henning. Henning gets it up to Soilis. Bersani knocks it off of his twig. And here comes Columbus at the red line with Petrantonio. Dumps it in from the right side of red. 4 minutes left to go here in the second. Port Huron has got themselves back within 2. Thanks to Isaiah Crawford. Bersani, heck of a job on the forecheck here while Columbus in the midst of a change. Bersani to the right circle, and MJ Graham shot just wide of the blocker hand. Ozelinch held it in left point, high slot. Prowlers take it back over. Good check there by Bersani again. Now he gets off for the end of his shift. Man, he is flying out there, keeping Port Huron hemmed in. Good spin move by Levesque, dodges the check from Krupp. Behind the net it goes, icing, as Caleb Williams couldn't get a stick on it on the stretch pass. 3:33 left to go here in the second. Not that long of a shift for some in the Prowlers. That back end of Pace and Henning, though, looking a little bit tired. See what Columbus can do with this. Jagger Williamson's unit out there ready to take this draw against Mo Levesque. Levesque pushes it to the far wall. Henning holds it in. Moving it out. Grade, right point. Trying to get it down to the corner. MJ Graham sends it around the boards. Joe Pace with it here. Pace had it knocked off his stick. Good speed there by Jagger Williamson. Pace second effort gets it around Jags. And now Soilis sends this one down to the Columbus blue line. Port Huron can change a couple of bodies here, but the River Dragons turn it up ice quickly. Here's Jagger Williamson, right wing circle with it. Williamson from behind the net dodges through a slash. Hand off of his stick there, but didn't draw the call. Here's MJ Graham from the right wing circle. Graham, nice deke around one, a toe drag to the middle. And that one goes off a pinball of skates. Jagger Williamson couldn't find it as Mo Levesque cleared it, but not out. Williamson across the blue line, right point to Noah Doyle. Down behind the net, it rims around for MJ Graham. Graham on the forehand, pass to the middle. Krupp waits, fires. And that one gets sent across, and Noonan has lost his helmet off of a collision with his own man. And we will get a whistle. 2:44 left to go here in the second. Good play set up there by the Graham and Krupp wing combination, and Krupp had good patience but could not find the angle as he moved it over towards the right wing side. Now with the goaltender helmet off and him getting it knocked off by him running into his own man, the Port Huron bench is going to be held here, and Austin Federley, one of the guys who is set to come out, doesn't like that. We'll let the referee know about it, but again, the Prowlers hemmed in their own end a bit. So Pace has to return out. Now it's definitely a tired group of Prowlers out there. River Dragons have changed again, trying to take advantage. 2:44 to go in the second. Mo Levesque, though, wins a draw, and this one rimmed around by Henning. Held in left point there by Frazier. Into the corner. Doe with it here, trying to put that one to the middle. An active stick by Levesque. Reads it, drops it back for Pace. He sends it along the glass. Soilus has it in his body. It's held in. Here's Petrantonio, a shot off the pass from Bersani. Ramped up off of Henning into the netting and out of play. And now the Prowlers get that change that they have desperately been looking for. 2:26 left to go here in the second. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Matt Graham, Hunter Bersani in on this draw. A little bit of debris on the ice at the red line and in front of the Port Huron bench, currently getting scraped up. That's all cleared up. Whistle blown, but a discussion happening over. Linesman and Port Huron bench getting a puck down there to smooth out what was just scraped. So quick delay. Now we appear to be good and ready to go. Some fans are getting antsy on the end boards over in the zone to our left. This is a little more major of an ice issue than we anticipated. Now the linesman vacates out, and we're good. Face off to the left of Noonan. Bersani, a couple of hard scrapes in there against Matt Graham, but the wings help out Port Huron, and they get it out of the zone. Johnson from the left wing, dumps to the right side corner. Paul Frazier, backhand, able to send it out with the help of Austin Doe. Graham, checked there by Petrantonio, puts a pop fly in on Rutledge. He stops it up top of his crease and lets his teammates take it. Here's Petrantonio at the red line, trying to send a pass ahead for Doe. Now he's in over the line on sides. Doe trying to get around Johnson. Doe on the backhand with this. He's being checked there in the corner, and Alex Johnson will send it out at the red line. It's collected there by Ozelinch. Armstrong sends this one in. 1:45 left to go here in the second. Grade at his own blue line, over for Nolan. Nolan on the near side board, sends it ahead, dodges a check from Jay as he gained the red line. Federley first on it in the corner for Port Huron. Johnson, backhand, can't get it out. Dalton Jay ahead, and at the blue line, Noah Doyle collects for Columbus. Finch sending it up, and knocked back into the Columbus end. Dalton Anderson gives to Nolan, couldn't get it off of his tape. Now his pass is read by Alex Johnson, who's just in on sides. Johnson left wing corner, hearing some boos from those in the crowd. Noah Doyle chops him down. The referee waving his head no, saying no call there. Now here's a block by Armstrong. He's got to break the other way. Roseboom comes back to cover, though. Here's Levi Armstrong, right wing circle. Pass between the legs. Finch couldn't do anything with it. Backhand effort, save made. And Dalton Anderson couldn't tap the rebound home. It hopped over his stick. Isaiah Crawford drops his back. Alex Johnson fires, save made Rutledge, and he sits on that. Does a little flyby, and that's going to draw some commotion. Johnson just got tackled behind the net, I think, by Noah Doyle. There's all kinds of a wrestling match. Tough for us to see numbers with the net and all sorts of officials in the way. Everyone's clearing out. Isaiah Crawford was involved in that as well for Port Huron. And everybody has collected themselves, and Alex Johnson picks himself up off the ice and punches the ice in frustration, looking for a call out of it. 44.5 left to go here. Under a minute to play in the Wild Animal Safari second period. Still 3-1 Dragons. Everybody clears out of that. Line change can proceed. crowd's getting loud about a couple of things. Johnson just returning to his bench, namely among them, I guess. Face off at the neutral zone. I guess Noah Doyle and Alex Johnson continue their conversation. That's what I'm being told, at least. Heading from the left wing side, plays this one into the zone for Port Huron. 37 seconds to go here in period 2. MJ Graham with it along the half wall. Backhand sends this one out. Roseboom going to be first on it. Top of the circles on his own end. Roseboom puts it out to center. MJ Graham gets dumped down on that play by Soilus. Crowd doesn't like that. Columbus has possession though. Here's Williamson, a pass across for Sura, lays a hit there onto Maldonado. Behind the net it goes for Port Huron. Henning rims it around. A dozen seconds left to go in the period. Here's Soilus. One more rush for Port Huron. Soilus, right wing corner, drives that one to the slot. Rutledge on it, and he sticked it away onto a body. That one nearly popped in behind him, just went wide. Now a chance from in front, and Paul Fraziot had to be careful with that one. Kicked it away from the crease. That was a dangerous bit of puck luck for Columbus. Not once, but twice could have gone in off of very awkward bounces, but Rutledge remains cool to the task, and Columbus still has a 2-goal lead heading into the locker room. Port Huron gets the only goal of the period thanks to Isaiah Crawford. We're through 40 minutes, and we got to head to the McDonald's second intermission report coming up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
If you're looking for quality dental work, look no further than Largeman Dental in Columbus, the River Dragons' trusted oral care provider. Largeman Dental provides cleaning services, restorative work, cosmetics, prosthetics, and Invisalign braces too. Dr. Largeman has over 19 years of clinical experiences in all phases of dentistry and holds memberships in 4 different esteemed dental societies. Set your next appointment by calling 706-322-6581 or visit them online at largemandental.com.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
All right, crew, let's get her dug.
Honey, you want to give me a hand? I'm planting that tree, remember?
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 business days before any digging project, so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. This includes natural gas and petroleum pipelines, electric, communication cables, and water and sewer lines. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. McDonald's second intermission report. 40 minutes in the books, 3 for the Dragons, 1 for the Prowlers. But in that second period, that's where the Prowlers were able to find the back of the net. 11:04 mark of the period. Isaiah Crawford, the Detroit native, had his 4th of the year with an assist from Brennan Young. A very creative play, a 2-on-1 developed between Young and Weber, and must have been good communication on the ice or something, because Young faked the shot and actually ended up dropping it right there for Crawford, who took it one time and fired it past the glove hand of Rutledge. And that's the only scoring to speak of in that middle frame. River Dragons are 1 for 1 on the Georgia Power power play, 2 for 2 on the Houston Clinic penalty kills. The special teams numbers looking sparkling as ever. One number that does not look sparkling, though, shots on goal. Heckler & Koch shot counter 26-18 in favor of the Prowlers. That's a second period total of 12-4. Not really quite sure what that was all about. Columbus was getting some chances, but it did seem like not as many shots went in on Noonan as you might have expected. The count could be low, but it does tend to tell the story of how Port Huron really pushed the pace in that period, found themselves some chances, and again cashed in about midway through to make it 3-1. Chuck-a-puck occurring down on the ice, and winners are being read by Director of Game Ops Taylor Blackwell. While we have some time, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Columbus River Dragons Radio Network.
Puck 730. Puck 730. Puck 1210. Puck 1210. Puck 555.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, and fans, got to tell you about an incredible opportunity coming up at a River Dragons game later this season. Fort Benning Harley-Davidson and the Columbus River Dragons have teamed up for a $50K giveaway at a River Dragons hockey game this season. Simply text FB-WIN to 55678 before March 13th to be entered for a chance to shoot from center ice and win $50,000. For full rules and contest details, stop into Fort Benning Harley-Davidson on Williams Road or visit fortbenninghd.com. $50,000 could be yours this season, but only if you text to enter now. That's FBWIN to 55678. Good luck. And big thanks to everything that the guys at Fort Benning Harley-Davidson do. It's always been a pleasure to have them here at the games. And saw Brett Posey walking around. Tried to wave at him. It's a pretty good crowd here on hand. Might not have seen me as I made my way through the concourse in advance of the game today. Let's take a break. When we come back, we look around the FPHL and the Zelmo Zip-In look around the league on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
The Country Inn & Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson.
Let Shred Away, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shred Away, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shred Away, 706-577-9668.
The future's here and we belong. She can stand, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can stand, so can you. Find a cure, that's something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back into the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons 3, Prowlers 1 through 40 minutes of play. Second intermission report brought to you by McDonald's and the Peasold family. Chattahoochee Valley area McDonald's, owners and operators. They're offering a special 4 for $48 deal coming up to select games to the select River Dragons home games this season, including coming up this month, December 18th against Carolina Thunderbirds. 4 tickets, 4 hats, and 4 combo meals good at any local Chattahoochee Valley area McDonald's. Visit ourdragons.com/MCD deal, MCD-deal on the URL, or call the River Dragons ticket office on Monday, 706-507-4625. We also now start to take a look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo Zip-In. Zelmo's the official fuel provider of your Columbus River Dragons. Getting down to the nitty-gritty in the other two games that both started at 7 o'clock on the dot. In Danbury, we go first. Hat-tricks have jumped out to a big lead, 4-0 over the Delaware Thunder. Hat-tricks were held off the board in the first, put up 2 in the second, and already have 2 in the third. Zachary Lazaro, 17:09 mark, made it 2-0. That was the score through 40 minutes. And then 2 goals, a minute and 23 seconds apart. Steve Mealy and Dmitry Kuznetsov, respectively, have the hat-tricks up 4-0 and leading in shots by a total of 37-12. Danbury looking for that home sweep of the Delaware Thunder, trying to put some pressure on the Watertown Wolves, who they are chasing at the top of the standings, as we swing it over to the Binghamton Black Bears in the Visions Veterans Memorial Arena, where they are hosting the Watertown Wolves. And Danbury is finding no such luck, as Watertown is up big, 5-1 over the Black Bears. Wolves have gotten 2 goals in the third period, both 53 seconds apart. 3-minute mark, Colin Chamelka, his second, and then 3:53, Alexander Jemayev. Just listen to what the top line of Watertown has done in this game. It is something incredible. Alexander Jemayev, Justin McDonald, and most times it is Jimmy Lodge for Watertown. But McDonald, a goal and an assist. McKechnie appears to be playing on that line today. He's got a goal and assist. Two assists also for Jimmy Lodge. Colin Chamelka has 2 goals. Alexander Jemayev, a goal and an assist. So it's a lot of guys with multiple points, and it's all guys up near the top of their lineups in the top 6 or on the top pair D. So Watertown up big, 5-1, as there's about 9.5 minutes left to go here in the third between them and the Black Bears. Again, Columbus 3, Port Huron 1. That's your Zelmo zip-in. Look around the FPHL. Zelmo's fueling life's passions. Quickly, a peek over at the SPHL and the Southern Hockey scoreboard. It took overtime at the Crown Coliseum, and Fayetteville comes away the winners at home. 2-1. They defeat the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. Overtime winner scored unassisted with 21 seconds left by Taylor McCloy. Elsewhere, we've already got a final in Central Georgia. Pensacola shuts out the Macon Mayhem by a tally of 4-0. Taking a look at some of the names we might recognize. Seth Enser with 2 assists in this game. Ivan Bondarenko also picked up a helper as well. And Sean Kuhn, a 24-save shutout. River Dragons representing well there in Macon, but for Pensacola. 5 minutes gone in the second in Evansville, and the Thunderbolts lead the Birmingham Bulls by a score of 3-0. Same 3-0 scoreline in Vermilion County, but it's the road team, the Huntsville Havoc, up 3-0. 12.5 to go in the second there. And Quad City at home up 2-0 on the Peoria Rivermen. About 17 minutes left to play in the second period. Another extra frame. In fact, we need to go to the skills competition in the ECHL. This time, the South Carolina Stingrays got the better of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. 4-3. They win. Quinn Foreman tied up the game for Greenville midway through the third. Overtime could produce nothing. They had to go to the shootout, and the Stingrays win it to take 2 of those points. Norfolk Admirals up big on the Atlanta Gladiators right now at home. Norfolk 4, Atlanta 1. They're in the last minute of play in the second period there. That was the Southern Hockey scoreboard. And I'm pausing here for a moment because we have no Zamboni on the ice yet, despite Chuckapuck being over for quite a few minutes. So ice work is being handled in the corners and along the edges. Hopefully they're just delaying to allow maybe some patchwork to be filled in along the kick plates. But do not see a Zamboni in the tunnel. That's perhaps a bit alarming. Let's take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll get ourselves back in on time, and we'll be looking ahead to the Houston Clinic third period. When that might come, given the Zambonis on the ice, we're not sure. But let's take that break. Come back after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
At Texas Roadhouse, we're famous for our hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made from scratch sides, ice-cold beer, and our irresistible fresh-baked bread. We take great care in everything we prepare, serve with big smiles at great value. Visit us at 2970 North Lake Parkway in Columbus, or call ahead seating at 706-323-6616. Curbside takeout available too. We're proud to be your hometown favorite and are always focused on providing legendary food and legendary service. Texas Roadhouse.
The Chattahoochee favorite place for spirits in the valley is John Emerald Distilling Company in Opelika. Conveniently located in beautiful downtown Opelika, they're open Monday through Saturday for tours, tasting, and bottle sales. Not in Opelika? No problem. From Birmingham to Columbus, there's plenty of places where John Emerald originals are sold. Check out some of their favorite recipes at johnemeralddistilling.com and give them a follow on social media at JED Spirits on Twitter and Instagram.
Progress. It's the belief that your life should be easier, that life should be fun, and that the best is yet to come. With us, you have a provider who pours everything into bringing progress home. And it's not just some big name in a faraway glass tower. That provider is here. That provider is Beam. With local service and faster internet, the only place you're going is forward. And we're taking you there. Progress. Your Beam. Your way.
Apologize about that. Welcome back into the Columbus Civic Center, everybody. We were remarking that our Zamboni had made it back onto the ice, which is a very good sign, and got the water starting to be laid down. So there is going to be a bit of a delay to start the Houston Clinic third period of play. A warning to our affiliates down the line. The next break we take will be the final break, break 20. 2 minutes coming up, and then we might pigeonhole a break in there just to give us a little bit of time, as the Zamboni is only making its first pass around the ice now. Thankfully, seems to be in working order. Lots of ice maintenance done in the meantime, getting this playable, ready to go for period number 3. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Obviously, Port Huron got a little bit more motivated in between periods 1 and 2, and while it didn't pay dividends right away in the shot counter, you can see how they really dictated how the period would be played in that second period, outshooting Columbus by a tally of 12-4. And with that in mind, Isaiah Crawford gets one up for Port Huron to bring them back within 2. So that gives the Prowlers a little bit of life heading into the room. But now for them, you obviously think they got to build on some momentum. And Columbus, they just got to go back to what was working for them in the first period of play. Being able to take it, dump it in, and get on the forecheck immediately. One of the reasons why Hunter Bersani is so effective on the line with Austin Doe and Josh Petrantonio is that forechecking ability, creating opportunities. And Doe and Petrantonio, they've been around the block once or twice. They know where the safe outlets are, where Port Huron might like to dump it out. That is why that line has combined in some way, shape, or form for all 3 goals. Been extremely effective tonight. And if you just emulate that play up and down the lineup, you'll see a lot of successful results. Heck, we saw it in the second period of last night's game when, after 20 minutes of play on Friday night, the Prowlers were up 1-0, and Columbus took advantage with 3 goals in the first 3:35. And listen to the goal scorers. Doe, Krupp, Petrantonio. Again, 2 of those guys on that line that is producing very well right now for the Dragons. And sitting up 3-1 as we're on an extended McDonald's second intermission report. Zamboni starting to cut through the middle. Lets you know we're getting right along here in the ice resurfacing process, but still going to take a bit. Let's go ahead and take break 20, that 2-minute break for our affiliates down the line. When we come back, we will update you and let you know what might happen about an extra break just to get us through the gap and get us almost about ready for the Houston Clinic third period. 2 minutes and we're back. Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo Zip-In. Our first store was in Leesburg, Georgia, and followed quickly by our second store in the Columbus, Phoenix City area in 2000. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions. Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Hey Jimmy, turn off the video games. Let's go play some ball.
I'm in the middle of my game. Can't we go later?
Come on, it'll be fun. It will be there when you get back.
Okay. But there's no way you're gonna win.
Why don't you grab some water and granola bars and then we'll see about that.
You can make a difference. Eat smart, play hard. And when you do, your kids will too. A challenge from USDA.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons 3, Prowlers 1 through 40 minutes of play. Our Zamboni is on maybe 2-3 laps to go, as we had a little bit of a delay getting the Zamboni out, getting the ice surface ready. We see a couple River Dragons already out in the tunnel ready to go. That's just the natural rhythm of the game, if you will. You sit in the room for somewhere between 10-15 minutes, get yourself back warm and ready to go out in that tunnel. So it's going to be a delay for both of these teams as the Zamboni finishes up its ice resurface to get us ready for the third period of play. River Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Again, all the goal scoring for Columbus happened in the first period. Started very early. Hunter Bersani, 46 seconds into the frame, and then 4:12 into the first, he fired one home again. His first two shots of the game found their way past Joe Noonan, who had a very rough start to his pro debut. It's the first game he has appeared in for Port Huron, his first game as a professional, getting the start. Didn't start well and didn't go well at the end of the first either. Power play goal from Austin Doe at the 16:54 mark made it 3-0, but as we remarked a couple of times so far in this McDonald's second intermission report, it's gotten quite extended. Isaiah Crawford crawled one back for the Prowlers, no pun intended. And 3-1 is how we currently sit through 40 minutes of play. Let me take a peek at our other games across the league, because since we've been in a bit of a delay, both of the games that started at 7 o'clock are just about in the final stretches, if not already wrapped up. So let's get a bonus look around the league, brought to you by Zelmo's Zip-In. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions. Watertown 6, Binghamton 1. The Wolves have added yet another. And this time it's Rocco Di Costanzo, Colin Chamelka, and Michael Mann picking up the assists. And this is what makes Watertown such a very good team. Obviously, you know, when their top line gets going of Justin McDonald and Alexander Jemayev, they're a very good team. But you really can't send all of your resources to shutting down that line, because lines 2 and 3 are just as good, because you see in this game Cole McKechnie, Colin Chamelka with 2, and now Rocco Di Costanzo adds in. Just depth up and down the lineup makes Watertown so very difficult to deal with, as they are going to cruise to a big 3 points on the road at the Visions Veterans Memorial Arena. 90 seconds left to play in that one between the New York rivals. Elsewhere in Connecticut, the Danbury Hat-Tricks look to be on the way to a weekend sweep. They have extended their lead out to 5-0 with 5.5 minutes left to go in that contest. John McDonald has added a goal since we last left this game, so Delaware's struggle to start the season continues with no points and no goals, barring anything happening in the last 5 minutes in the third period in Danbury. And just as I say that, well, hold on, wait a second. That might be a glitch. It just switched to 5-1. The clock didn't stop. Let's get a quick read here on this. Yes, indeed. Delaware did just score. As I said, no goals yet on the weekend. Brandon Beard, 14:32 mark for the Thunder, picks one up for them. All right, Zamboni's on its final pass. We see the coaching staffs making their way out to the benches. So let's take, we'll call this a 2-minute break. We'll call a bonus 2-minute break right here. When we come back, teams will be on the ice and we'll be ready to go. for the Houston Clinic third period. After this, the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overbee Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overbee Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
At Southern States Bank, the common sense bank, we're a true community bank that supports the places we serve. Our people live, work, and play in your community. And you will find us cheering for the River Dragons right alongside you in the stands. With convenient locations throughout Alabama and Georgia, we're never too far away to handle any of your financial concerns. Call, click, or come by and see how we can help you make sense out of your banking. Visit us online at southernstatesbank.net. Southern States Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 410.
If you're looking for quality dental work, look no further than Largeman Dental in Columbus, the River Dragons' trusted oral care provider. Largeman Dental provides cleaning services, restorative work, cosmetics, prosthetics, and Invisalign braces too. Dr. Largeman has over 19 years of clinical experiences in all phases of dentistry and holds memberships in 4 different esteemed dental societies. Set your next appointment by calling 706-322-6581 or visit them online at largemandental.com.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. Apologize for those of you on the radio network and on YouTube that might have had a little bit of glitching and echoing on that. I guess that's what we get for trying to work in an unprogrammed break. Obviously, a little bit of a delay to the proceedings here in the Houston Clinic third period, but the Zamboni is off the ice. Ice is drying after the resurface, and we should be ready to go here in Columbus in just a couple of moments. River Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Prowlers and River Dragons both in their tunnels waiting to get out. And looks like the door is jammed on the Columbus side. Only one of the doors is open. The other one looks like it's pinched in by the net. They're putting sticks up at that netting to try and free up the door. Man, there's a full moon out in the last, 20 minutes to a half hour. Lots of things just gone all kinds of chaotic. Oh, it wasn't the net. It was a puck. So, all right, lucky fan will get that souvenir from right outside the Columbus River Dragons tunnel. So, okay, it wasn't as bad as we thought it was, thank goodness. Doesn't explain why only one of the doors are open, but you know what? That's on me. Here are the referees being booed as they get onto the ice. But you know what? We're happy to see them because that means we'll be ready to play this Houston Clinic third period in just a couple of moments. Dragons out there dressed in the blackout jerseys. Black jerseys, gray numbers, teal trim, black helmets and pants. They're going to go left to right across your radio dial here in the third. Jared Rutledge, 25 saves on 26 shots. Now over for the Prowlers. They are dressed in the white jerseys with a chest band, a red chest band, and the Circle PH logo on the chest. Red helmets and pants with black numbers. They're going to go right to left. Joe Noonan gets himself ready in the crease. 15 saves on 18 shots so far for him in his pro debut. So after quite a bit of delay, we are ready to go here for this third period of play. That intermission wasn't keeping too good a track. Let's see if we can't pull something back here. Usually a hockey period intermission is going to sit somewhere around 17 to 18 minutes. If it goes to 20, it starts to feel a little bit long for the guys in the room. That one looks like we started it up right around 9:04. It's 9:27. So 23 minutes. It's only about a 5-minute delay, but it just feels like so much more. But now we're finally ready, and the Houston Clinic third period is back. We are underway. Dagger Williamson wins the draw, and Columbus has possession. Jay Krupp backhand flips this one into the Port Huron end. Federley has it, far side circle. Over on the near side, Noah Doyle chops at the stick of Williams. He gets to it first and sends it down. Federley to Johnson, little D to D pass from underneath the goal line. Johnson's cross ice feed was too high on the body of Levesque, couldn't do anything with it, and Nolan has it in his own end. Sending that one up off the feet of MJ Graham. He'll hustle after it. Right wing, he'll dump it into the corner. Noonan slows it up behind the net. Alex Johnson will collect. Jagger Williamson gives him a stick as he tries to stuff him out from behind. Right wing side, pass for Soilis, too far in front of him, and Paul Frazier knocks it away. Off the boards, right wing side, Krupp takes it, one touches it into the zone. Columbus changing behind this. 19-12 to go here in the third. Dragons lead it by 2, looking to take the weekend. Frisura only to the red line. Maldonado, cross ice dump. And whoa, missed the netting with that. Just trying to put it in the corner, it sailed up on him. And not only did it not hit the glass, it actually just missed the edge of the netting on that left wing corner side. That loud thud was of a seat. And for once, thank goodness it wasn't occupied. A neutral zone draw will occur opposite the Columbus bench, tied up in the feet, and Weber was tied up by Bersani. He's racing after this right wing corner, but Noonan comes all the way out to the dot to play it before Hunter could have a chance to look it for a hat trick. Maldonado sends this one across. Frazier off the wall. And Bersani got knocked down there by Frisura in the middle of all that chaos. Drew a little bit of a crowd. Icing on here against Port Huron. Grade wins it uncontested. We get a whistle. 18:37 to go here in the third. Maybe it wasn't a knockdown. Bersani is looking at his right skate as if maybe something might be wrong with that. But he sits, his shift done, and a new unit comes out for Columbus to try and take advantage of a tired Port Huron squad. Face-off coming to the right of Noonan. Dalton Anderson, Austin Weber on the draw. Anderson wins it. Top of the left wing circle. Ozelinch rims it around. Armstrong checked there by Levesque. Puck goes into the corner. Near side, Weber fishes it out and skates it away from danger. Pass to the far wall. Frisura now goes off the stick of Armstrong on a stretch attempt. So no icing here. Port Huron can get a change if they'd like. Henning pinching on the play. He's in the corner. Grade behind the net. Gives it to Ozelinch along the far wall. It'll rim itself there. Henning pins his man to the wall, but Dalton Anderson finds a loose puck, and it's 2-on-2 the other way. Left wing side, Anderson in over the line. Now trends over to the right as Levi Armstrong drives the net. Pace was down to block the shot. Anderson fakes it. Doyle a drive, and a pad save made there by Noonan. Here's Frisura with it. Frisura headed off right at the red line by Finch, and he goes off for a change. Now here's Doyle. Waves at that one. Pace got an edge in front of him with his stick. And now he gets turned over as his pass was intercepted in the neutral zone by Petrantonio. Plays it in, but a quick delayed offside as Columbus had to touch up. Johnson with a chip to Frisura. He couldn't handle it. Held in by Petrantonio. Pace had it, and Bersani can't touch that puck as he didn't have the left point. Gets in and out. Delayed offside. Here comes Port Huron back the other way. Johnson threads through a couple of black jerseys, but Nolan cuts him off in front of the bench. Up ahead for Bersani, one touch to Petrantonio, in over the line. Petrantonio, left wing circle, checked there by Dalton J, and now it'll be rimmed around by Austin Federley. Right in front of the penalty boxes, Tom Manaldo tries to flip it in deep. Alex Johnson cuts that off, gains the red, and sends it into the far corner against Jared Rutledge. Frazier comes out of it along the wall. Jake Krupp is tied up there with Vartiainen. Down into the corner, there's Graham, and Paul Frazier just lit up Matt Graham from behind. This is going to draw a crowd. Alex Johnson's going to come over and say his piece. Matt Graham appears to be all right. A little bit shaken up out of it, though. And there's going to be a penalty here against Frazier. Well, not only through the numbers, but within literal arm's distance of the referee. That one's going to get called 100 times out of 100. Frazier, 2 minutes for boarding, 16:57 to go here in the third. Houston Clinic penalty kill on for the third time tonight. River Dragons 2 for 2 previous, looking to improve their standing. They came into the game 5th in the FPHL in the penalty kill. The mojo of penalty killing was getting itself back after a very tough week last week. Here against Port Huron, they've made it a little bit better, trying to climb back up those standings where they were to start. Off of the draw, Weber won that one on a bounce and sent that one right at the bench, and those in white had to duck down. 1 second gone in that Frazier boarding minor. Now we're back underway with the Houston Clinic penalty kill on in earnest. Here's Alex Johnson, left wing side and over the line. Plays that one to the middle. A bouncer. Stick there by Rutledge. He'll corral it and get a whistle. 16:47 now left to go in the third. 3-1 Dragons. We've seen a lot of stop and starts in this game in different ways. Now, I say that knowing that there has been also 1 or 2 instances of 4, 5, heck, maybe even 7 minutes straight without a whistle, but it seems like in this game, probably the 3-3 helps it out. There's been a lot of stop and start, goalies willing to take whistles. Frisura knocked one down in the slot, but couldn't put it back into a dangerous area. Columbus was able to clear it. Petrantonio lifts the stick of Johnson, chips around another man, but Johnson was able to get back in time and create some havoc, and Petrantonio couldn't look for a shot. Johnson for Dalton J, left wing side. He hits the line with speed, 2-on-3. Now he stops it up at the left point, tries to send it off of the boards, blocked by a black jersey, and now here's Trevor Finch. Finch skates it ahead, being checked by Jay. He'll just chip it into the right wing corner, try and kill off some time for this. Dustin Henning first on it, but Finch trying to pin him along the wall. Henning's got speed, he's got momentum, and he drops it back for Vartiainen. Just about halfway through this Frazier boarding minor, though. River Dragons penalty kill looking good right now. Going to kill it off and maintain this 2-goal lead. Doyle checks a man as the puck falls into the zone. Port Huron 2-on-2 battle in this left wing corner. Graham trying to fish it out. In front of him is Nolan. He backhand sends it down 200 feet. And the River Dragons get a fresh 4 out there on the PK. Noonan, long stretch pass. Here's Mo Levesque with it. Levesque in over the line, left point. Graham, good stick lift just as he hit the line. Henning can't hold it in. It's a delayed offsides. Port Huron can't touch. MJ Graham will send it down the length of the ice anyways. 24 seconds left to go in the Frazier minor. Vartiainen came out one way, skated back behind his net for some support. Now a long pass, hit Graham on the tape, but he couldn't settle it. A little bit of 4 corners, driving it back into his own end. It's sent down the length of the ice by Maldonado. Graham lost it off of his body. Jagger Williamson trying to tie up with Vartiainen. And we get a whistle. And it looks like Jagger might have been offside trying to come in on this play. 15 minutes left to go in the third, though, and we get immediate timeout. 30 seconds and we're back on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 15 minutes left to go in regulation. Dragons lead at 3-1. All of their damage, the Dragons that is, done in the first period. Port Huron has the last goal to speak of in this game. Came back in the middle stages of the second off Isaiah Crawford's stick. There's 3 seconds left in the Frazier minor. Port Huron wins the draw, but Frazier out of the box. 3 for 3 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill tonight are the Dragons. Maldonado from the red line, rims this one around, left wing side. Krupp takes a big hit there from Federley along the hash marks. Federley will backhand chip this one down. Maldonado has it back at his own blue. 14:40 to go here in the third. Dragons trying to win the weekend, taking the last 2 here at home. Federley with this one, left wing circle, being watched by Frazier. A backhand to the middle, easily sticked away by Rutledge, who saw it in time. Levesque, top of the circles, plays it side of the net. Maldonado got a stick on it in front of Soilis. Now a couple of 27s collide there in the corner, Soilis and Frazier. Maldonado holds up Soilis, but Levesque takes it away for his teammate. Levesque with it, left wing circle. He gets hit into the boards by Maldonado, held in left point by Johnson. Down to the bottom of the circles. Soilis with it in the corner. Frazier, backhand, rims this one around. Jay Krupp with it at the half wall. And Krupp can't get it away from Federley, who pinched up on the play. Columbus hemmed into their own zone a little bit here. Port Huron looking to cut into this 2-goal lead. 3-on-2 battle in the right wing corner of the Columbus end. Port Huron had the advantage, but Columbus pushed it out past them. And here come the River Dragons up the near side wall. MJ Graham with Jay Krupp bunched in tight. Graham, right wing circle, trying to drop it back for Krupp. Mo Levesque read that. And now here's Dustin Henning taking it away. A defenseman pinching up. He's all alone on the play as Port Huron's changing behind this. Henning tries to drive the goal line, side of the net. Rutledge sticks it away. Finch rims this one around. Armstrong chips a man, trying to get to that puck first, but Austin Weber, good job hustling back in support, takes away a potential breakaway opportunity. Here's Weber with some speed ahead. That one knocked away by Oslund, but gives it right back. Weber, a shot and a blocker save made there by Rutledge. Oslund did a good job knocking that one down at the line. Look out for Sura, puts it to the middle, and Weber knocks that one away. But when it hit off of his body, Weber took it right back in stride and basically started a 3-on-2 right there. Pace with it left point. His drive wide of the blocker hand on Rutledge, saw it through traffic. Now a chance from the far post, and Crawford's shot is denied by by Rutledge, and he gets a whistle. 12:56 left to go here in the third. Dragons 3, Prowlers 1. Face-off coming to the left of Rutledge. Graham versus Bersani. False start, sticks clash, center stay in. Graham wins it. Jay shot blocked in front. Doyle can't get it out. It's along the wall. It's on top of the dasher boards. Or is it in the equipment of Dalton Jay? I don't know where this puck is. Maybe it popped out of play. It was tough to tell how in tight to the boards they were. We'll get a whistle and another offensive zone draw here for the Prowlers. Crowd starting to get loud as we've hit the middle stages of the third period. False start, Bersani gets waved. Petrantonio comes in to take it, ties up with Graham, and the Columbus Wings help him out. Doyle rims this one around, Pace pinching on the play, holds it bottom of the circles. Graham from the top of the left circle has to go off the wall and a pass for Jay. This one rimmed around. Jay has it here. Pass to the middle. And nobody home in a white jersey. Austin Doe trying to skate it out himself. 2 passes he whiffed on. He'll just take it to the red line and dump it into the right wing corner. Pace had that one hop off his stick weird. Vartiainen's outlet blocked by Petrantonio, but he couldn't find his own rebound. And Quentin Roseboom goes behind his own net looking to set up a rush. Here's Vartiainen, left wing side. Chips around one man. Matt Graham 2-on-2 with Dalton Jay driving the net. Graham with a centering feed. And Jay couldn't get in front of Tom Maldonado. Jay Krupp on the backhand sends this one down. Will it have the legs for icing? No. They say Federle grabs that one just before the goal line. MJ Graham, big check onto Federle there, but he dishes the puck away for Alex Johnson. Johnson gets the legs going, right wing side. Mo Levesque in over the line. Dalton Jay, a one-timer, and that one easily padded away by Rutledge. Frazier sends this one off the near boards. Federle cross ice, sends it back the other way. Icing is on. Jagger Williamson wins the race, and Alex Johnson was coming in a little hot. Gives Jagger a little bit of bump. Everybody just getting the side eyes going. 11:41 to go in the third. This stage of the game, no one wants to be the one to take an undisciplined penalty, but just with how tense and hostile this weekend's been, you know something could be brewing late. After what we saw on Friday, this has been a very tame game, to say the least.
Make sure you stick around for autographs after the game. Bring those posters to the concourse next to the merchandise stand.
Williamson wins the draw. Graham from the right wing circle. His shot blocked by an errant stick. And Port Huron will take it over. Brennan Young with this right wing side. Young just able to get it in over the line with a couple of sweepsticks from the Columbus defense. Frazier rims this one around on the near side wall. Hits the stanchion weird. Columbus was ready for it though. MJ Graham trying to send it far wing to Krupp. Federle gloves it down before it could reach him. Johnson's pass off the skates of Soilis. Here's Columbus back the other way. Grade in over the line, 3-on-2 through the middle. Grade's pass left wing, and Krupp was looking to cover for Grade, not go in on the rush. Soilis pass across. Here's Alex Johnson in over the red line, now the blue line with speed, and then he's closed up immediately by both defensemen trying to seal off that gap, Grade and Ozelinch. Here's Trevor Finch, right wing. He dumps it into the left wing corner. It hopped up off of a shoulder pad. It's loose there, tied up in the crease. Save made Noonan. They score! Levi Armstrong gets the final tap. 4-1 Columbus. I am not quite sure what happened on the Trevor Finch dump-in. Looked like he was just trying to play that into the left wing corner, and it might have gone off a body of Port Huron, popped up into the air. Not too many people knew where it was, and it fell dangerously in the slot. Good scrum by the River Dragons, kept it centered, and Levi Armstrong able to tap it home for a good insurance goal. 4-1 Columbus. Here's Dana Barker.
Shoot! River Dragons goal scored by number 7, Levi Armstrong. His second goal of the season scored and assisted at 9:10
Unassisted goal, Levi Armstrong, 4-1. Columbus now leads it in the driver's seat to take another 3 points. Finch trying to drive along the goal line. He hits the side of the net, trying to put it to the middle. Weber rims this one around. Here's Isaiah Crawford with it in the far side circle of his own end. Columbus in the midst of a change. Crawford trying to hustle it up. Left wing side. He's using his speed. Drops the puck off, trying to get it back around Noah Doyle. He runs out of room, and then he's checked hard into the corner boards there. Doyle giving him some work. So, too, it looks like is Josh Petrantonio. And the puck has gone out of play, or what's happened here? Petrantonio was screaming out of this scrum for a whistle, and actually, oh my goodness, that's the Zamboni door that they were clashing in that corner, and actually it popped open, which is frightening when you consider the reinforcement needed on a Zamboni door that somehow popped open. 10 minutes even left to go in the third as the puck is dropped. Port Huron with the offensive zone draw and a penalty coming up. Hunter Bersani unhappy with it. Lets his feelings be known. 2 minutes tripping coming up to the Dragons. We'll tell you about it when we come back after the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Is a world leader in development, manufacturing, and distribution of composite reinforcement materials for any and all projects you might have. Headquartered right here in Phoenix City, Vectorply prides itself on providing superior and timely customer service for all their customers' inquiries. No project is too big or too small for Vectorply. For more information on what they can do for you and your project, visit Vectorply.com. That's VECTORPLY.com. And get started on your next big project today.
.9:57 left to go here in the third. Hunter Bersani, 2 minutes for tripping. 4-1 Dragons lead it. Levi Armstrong added our last goal of the game just about a minute or so ago. His was unassisted, his second of the year, but now Port Huron, chance to bring it back within 2 goals here on this power play. 3 for 3 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill tonight are the Dragons. And we've got some Sweet Home Alabama being sung in the karaoke by the crowd. Anybody who knows Taylor Blackwell, a little unhappy with how the game went for her and her team, with the Crimson Tide winning the SEC championship game today. Guess thematic and a little bit fun here in the building. Federley has his stick clashed there by Austin Doe. Good job on the forecheck, but he couldn't turn it into a chance for himself. Now here's Matt Graham with speed ahead. Graham, right wing, and over the line to Levesque. Brings it back in front of him. Levesque makes a man miss in the corner. Then he's checked by Frazier. Dalton Jay to the top. Federley, left point, walks it in. High slot shot, patted away. Jay the rebound. Blocker save made by Rutledge. 9:24 left to go in the third. Just under 90 seconds remaining in the Bersani minor. Graham to the left wing circle, found by Maldonado and sent down ice right on net at Noonan. Stops it up in the slot, and Port Huron will look to start up another rush. Matt Graham moves that over to Federley in the neutral zone, gives it back to Graham. 3-on-3 as he hits the line right wing side. Graham at the hash marks to Alex Johnson, center point. Now to left wing circle. Jay a blast on the ice the whole way, patted there by Rutledge. Down the ice off a Columbus stick, on net again for Noonan. He'll stop it up at the hash marks. 50 seconds left to go in the Bersani minor. Johnson sends that one over the stick of Brennan Young. No icing as Ozelinch has to touch it bottom of the circles. Held in right point there by Weber. Now a shot from Young. Great block in front. Edgar's Ozelinch getting himself down into the shooting lane. Vartiainen with this at the left point. He's looking for a shooting lane. Nothing there. Trevor Finch is blocking him. Vartiainen does pull the trigger. Finch got a piece of it. Vartiainen still with it. Little give and go with Weber. Vartiainen drive left point. Frisura's effort shouldered away by Rutledge. And now from the bottom of the circles, Frisura's got it back. Vartiainen left point. Over to the right wing circle for Henning. Henning along the half wall. Fire save made. Rebound score. Frisura had it pop right onto his tape. All he had to do was push that one in. 11 seconds left to go in the Bersani minor. It's a power play goal for the Prowlers, and it is 4-2. Well, not much you can do about that. When the puck just falls on your tape, and you're about an inch out of the crease like Frisura was, you're going to pot that one home 100 times out of 100. Prowlers get back within 2, 8:08 to go here in the third. Back to 5-on-5 play. Weber and Williamson ready to take this draw. Williamson wins it. We're back underway. Doyle trying to chip it at the near side boards. Weber plays it back into the zone. Henning from the blue line dumps it down, a deflection, no icing. And Columbus have behind the net. Jared Rutledge had to cover that one up. That was a weird play. Had that one pop back out, and the River Dragons, maybe a little bit on the back foot here, all of a sudden have to defend another offensive zone draw coming up here for the Prowlers. 7:52 to go here in the third. For those of you keeping score with us at home, 11:52 mark, the Houston Clinic third period. Zach Frisura picks up his fourth goal on the season with an assist to Dustin Henning on the power play. Also, Brennan Young. Columbus able to chip this one out. Josh Petrantonio interfered with a bit as he tried to get over the red line. No call coming. We back underway. Here's right circle. A shot from Henning. That one goes wide of the blocker hand. Petrantonio flips that one high over Vartiainen. High over Roseboom too. Petro's got breakaway. Josh Petrantonio went all alone. Fakes him. Forsberg and scores. Oh, and a shove there from Matt Graham at the end of it on the celly. Graham's going to try and shove it at everybody to no avail. What a move right there from the captain. Sets himself up with his own breakaway. And a nice little backhand to forehand. Forsberg gets Noonan down, slides it home, 5-2 Columbus. It might have been more of a solo effort play, but you gotta hand it to that line. Bersani, Doe, and Petrantonio. My goodness. They are just darn near unstoppable today. And here's Dana Barker.
He shoots! Our River Dragons goal scored and assisted by number 9, captain, our captain, Josh Petrantonio. That goal at 12:40 in the third period.
Petrantonio unassisted. River Dragons lead it 5-2. Under 7 minutes to play now here in the third. Jagger Williamson with some speed ahead, 3-on-2, filters it ahead to MJ Graham, right wing circle, Graham's got a lane, fires, save made Noonan, rebound Williamson, sent it wide. Jay Krupp with it along the half wall, he walks it, high slot, looking for a shooting lane, waits, now fires, blocked in front, that was by Caleb Williams. Krupp will send it to the middle, quickly gloved by Noonan, who will take a whistle. 6:38 now left to go here in the third. Dragons 5, Prowlers 2, despite the Prowlers outshooting Columbus right now by a tally of 36-25. Face-off coming to the left of Noonan. This one gloved down by Nolan as Crawford tried to chip around him. Port Huron will eventually get out of their own zone. Weber, good cross-ice feed to Frisura in the high slot. Frisura backhand and a great glove save by Rutledge. Good anticipation and just picked it out of the air clean as ever. 6:28 to go in the third. Dragons still lead by 3. Listen to this line. Josh Petrantonio, Austin Doe, Hunter Bersani. Bersani had the game's opening 2 goals for 2 points. Austin Doe, a goal and 2 assists. Petrantonio, a goal and 2 assists. That's 8 points among those 3 forwards skating together. Weber had a chance as he was falling away to the right wing circle. Rutledge made an easy save, and Port Huron has it all the way back at their own blue line. This one moved into the right point. Shot from Weber, well wide into the left wing corner. Frisura chips it down deeper for Crawford. Crawford trying to cycle there with Frisura. Couldn't get out of his own way. Crawford with it. Checked there by Nolan. It was a low leg check, and a penalty is going to come up on the trip. Johnson, D-to-D across for Federley. 6-on-5 for the Prowlers here on the delayed call. Frisura left wing. Down into the corner, Weber cycling. Here's Dalton Jay, the extra man on the ice. Jay, right circle. Federley, a blast. That one blocked and will eventually be touched by Armstrong, and we will get the whistle. Nolan's going to head off for tripping. Tried to get Isaiah Crawford on the shoulder. Crawford was crafty, got around him, and Nolan stuck out a leg, tripped him up. And it'll be another Houston Clinic penalty kill coming up here for the Dragons. Face-off coming to the left of Rutledge. Petrantonio checking on his netminder, making sure he is ready. River Dragons 3 for 4 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill tonight as another one starts up. Defensive zone win for the Dragons. Fraziot has it in the corner and sends it down the length of the ice. 5:37 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Dragons still lead it. Prowlers You have to imagine if they want to get something out of this game, perhaps in must-score territory on this power play, they're having a tough time getting it out of their own end as Vartiainen's bothered here by Petrantonio. In the corner, Vartiainen giving the captain all he can muster, and Levesque will eventually come in to help out. Levesque moves this over to Dalton J. Now a pass over to Matt Graham, too far out of the reach of him. And now this one will be played off of the board by Frazier. Austin Doe. Oh, he gets around Henning, who had dove on the play. Doe, backhand, Deke tries to get around Vartiainen, and nothing doing as he ran out of real estate. Mo Levesque with this one. At the red line, left wing side, he'll dump it in, trying to jump around Gray. Dalton Anderson rims around. Trevor Finch chops at it there. Spin move, gets around Federley. Here's a shorthanded chance, potentially. Finch with speed ahead. Matt Graham closes him down. Pass to the middle. Alex Johnson, great job knocking that one out of the air with some hand-eye coordination. 52 seconds left to go here in the minor penalty to Nolan. Alex Johnson with some speed, pinched off there by Gray. Didn't slow him up enough, though. Pass to Frisura, sweeping stick, though, and Noah Doyle's able to block that pass. Johnson, big check there on Doyle. Left point held in by Federley. Federley to Alex Johnson, top of the left wing circle. He has his pocket picked, and Trevor Finch, a backhand dump down, and Columbus will get a fresh 4 out there. 30 seconds left in the minor. Down the ice it goes on the open wing. Frisura backhand knocked away by a Columbus body. MJ Graham ties up a stick, still in the neutral zone. And Frisura cycles it back, looks for space. Weber gave it back to the defense, and no one was there and ready. Columbus will take the dump down and set up defensively. A dozen seconds left in the Nolan minor. Federley to Brennan Young along his own blue line. Skates this one ahead. Noonan clapping his stick down to the far side. Penalty nearly over. Young fires a shot off the backboard, and that one was awkward, but Frazier clears the danger. Nolan gives it back to the defense here. 4 for 5 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill tonight are the Dragons. MJ Graham with it at the half wall far side. Plays it up. Jagger Williamson gains the red. Dumps it in. 3:26 to go here in period 3. Dragons up by 3. Roseboom, a backhand, in over the line. Soilus lost it in the feet. Ozelinch chips it ahead. Here's Bersani. He's on hat-trick watch. Bersani along the half wall. Checked down there by Henning. And then as he fell down, awkwardly tumbling was Soilus. Here's Bersani in the high slot, trying to kick it to the middle. Playing a little bit of goalie as the Prowlers can't get around Bersani in the slot, trying to chip him. And it goes down into the corner for Mo Levesque. Bersani hard on the forecheck. Big hit laid onto Roseboom. Here's Petrantonio, left wing circle, fires. Save made Noonan. What a hit right there by Bersani. You love to see it. 2:52 to go in the third. 5-2 Dragons lead. We head off and final bits of regulation up after 30 seconds here on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, 2:52 left to go here in the third. Dragons 5, Prowlers 2. Barring anything crazy from Port Huron, River Dragons going to take this weekend series and go on a 2-game winning streak. Port Huron will need about a goal a minute just to force overtime. At the left point, Ozelinch has his effort blocked down, and back the other way come the Prowlers. Right wing circle, Graham, a shot deflected, save made by Rutledge, saw that one through traffic. Vartiainen at the hash marks, Noonan to the bench, 6 on 5 with 2.5 minutes to go here in the third, and the Prowlers needing 3. From behind the net, Bersani looks, sends it down ice, could it be? No, just wide, that close to a hat trick for Hunter Bersani, and icing somehow waved off. Not sure what that was about, but we play on. Weber trips over his own feet. Petrantonio trying to move this one up for himself. Off the wall. Doe a backhand flip. And this one will be collected by Johnson in his own end. We're at the 2-minute warning here in the third. Dragons 5, Prowlers 2. Port Huron with the empty net. A backhand for heading across. A save made Rutledge as Alex Johnson drove the slot and got an effort towards net. 1:56 to go here in the third. Port Huron in full desperation mode. It would take something special to get something out of this game. Face-off coming. Face-off's coming to the right of Rutledge. And very rarely do you see two goalies on the bench at the same time, but given the empty nets, Kiss Cam just got put on the two goalies, and Joe Noonan's being a good sport. Riles up the crowd. Timeout, Port Huron. 5-2. Dragons lead it here. Teams have traded goals in this third period. Levi Armstrong first, the 9:10 mark of the third period. His unassisted after a weird pop-up in the slot. Fell to him, and a good goal line scrum saw him tap home his second of the year. Then a power play tally for the Prowlers as Zach Frisura was sitting there on the doorstep. Pad save by Rutledge, but it was right on his tape, and an easy save, or an easy goal for Frisura to make it 4-2. But that was since answered. 48 seconds later, Josh Petrantonio chipping over the defenseman, racing after it, a breakaway in all alone, and did a backhand, forehand Forsberg move to get Noonan down and slide it home. And that's how we sit 5-2 with 1:56 to go here in regulation. Face-off coming to the right of Rutledge. Levesque won it, but between his legs, Finch is able to take it away on wing support for Columbus. Good hold in at the left point by Johnson. Covering for him, Levesque delayed offsides. Levesque could not hold the blue in that tight proximity behind. We get an offsides call. 1:45 remaining here in the third. Dragons 5, Prowlers 2. Prowlers going to need something special. Right now, feels a bit like a formality. Levesque, with the draw, will slap it into the zone. Rutledge from the bottom of the circles comes out and plays it. Federley from the red line, sending that one ahead. Finch knocked it off of his stick, and Williamson gets bothered at the red line for the puck. Couldn't put it in towards the open zone. Dalton Anderson tied up along the wall. Matt Graham giving Jagger Williamson a piece or two of his mind out of that scrum. Now here's a pass ahead. Dalton Jay with it right wing side. Jay fires a shot. Stick save made there by Rutledge. Here comes another effort. Stick save made. Now Matt Graham still going in, and this time at Brad Nolan. Just trying to take on all comers here. 1:10 left to go in the third. Alex Johnson holds in left point. Jay ties up with Williamson behind the net. Now it's puck picked out in the middle. Tied up. Vartiainen still with it there. And the puck goes free, but overskating at Doyle. Here comes Levesque. Chance in the feet of Dalton Jay. Nothing doing there. And Noah Doyle chips this one down ice. A bouncing puck flip-flops all the way down and will go for icing. The River Dragons not able to change. Matt Graham went after somebody in the bench, and everybody in a black jersey is pounding on Matt Graham. Alex Johnson's trying to come in to help. There's not a lot you can do, and there's about 6 or 7 Dragons going at one guy. We were waiting for this, and Jerome Bichard is adamant at the referee, and I think he just got himself tossed. Jerome's been ejected. Levi Armstrong's being pulled out of the pile and escorted to the tunnel. Graham throws a glove in disgust. Crowd's cheering all sorts of everybody. We got a yard sale to clean up. It was an icing call against Columbus. Jake Grade pumping up the crowd as he's been told to hit the showers early. It was an icing call against Columbus. We saw Matt Graham going after all sorts of customers, Jagger Williamson and Brad Nolan. Now Alex Johnson's being told off, and the crowd loves that. So, off of the icing call, Columbus tried to get a wholesale change out of it, and they burst everybody out of the bench. And Matt Graham, I'm not sure who he was going after, because he went after Williamson, Nolan, just about everybody on the ice during that 6-on-5. He picked somebody at the bench, gave him a cross check, And when I kid you not, you saw black jerseys just swarm at Matt Graham. It was insane. Had to have been at least 4 guys raining punches from the bench and from the ice in on him. You can give Matt Graham credit for his bravado and trying to go after somebody, but that might be the least opportune spot to try and go after a guy with many opponents all around you. So, out of all of this, we have many players in the dressing rooms, a coach ejected, Jerome Bichard's out of here, and Jeff Krupp has taken over behind the bench. 49.5 to go in the third. 5-2 the score. The result is almost all but a certainty at this point. And just in case anybody was curious, at the end of this month, these two teams will do the same thing. A Thursday night in Biloxi and a Friday, Saturday here in Columbus. And oh, by the way, that Friday night game is New Year's Eve. So it's going to be a fun way to ring in the new year if we get a series even close to the level of intensity we've seen over these last 3 nights. It's been some very entertaining hockey. And right now, Columbus 49.5 seconds away from taking the lion's share of points on the weekend, what would be 6-3. There's a lot of penalty math to sort out. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, the Columbus River Dragons radio network. Back here at the Civic Center. Crowd in a little call and response chant. Let's listen in. It's a lively bunch here at the Civic Center. They're having some fun. Why aren't you out here yet? Get yourselves down to the Civic Center next weekend. The River Dragons taking on the Binghamton Black Bears for a Friday and Saturday set here at home. Saturday is Teddy Bear Toss as well. Binghamton Black Bears, Teddy Bear Toss. See what we did there? Should be a lot of fun. All proceeds, teddy bears, money donations, whatever it might be, going to a great cause. We'll tell you more about coming up this week in a press release. Very excited. Welcome in the FPHL's newest team. Man, one of the best teams right now in the Binghamton Black Bears. Last we saw them on around the FPHL update, they were about to take a big they were about to lose to Watertown, but they are in the top 3 right now in the standings. I had my New York teams confused. Binghamton took the loss 6-1 is what producers just told me before I'm tripping over too many of my words. But that being said, Binghamton has constantly been at the top of the standings here in the early part of the year. A very good team, and Columbus will get their first look at them coming up next weekend. Okay, penalties are all sorted out. Captains have been informed. 2 minutes are up on the board against Graham because he's been ejected. Pace will go in and serve those 2 minutes. That's the only one outstanding. There's a lot of ejections, including Jerome Bichard. Levi Armstrong and Jake Grade, I do believe, were tossed for Columbus. Alex Johnson, Matt Graham tossed for Port Huron. If there's any more, we'll let you know. But we're 49.5 away, and at this point, get the puck down, get the weekend over. This River Dragons team is ready to celebrate. Bersani wins the draw. Look out, here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Weber with this left wing circle, pass across over the stick of Henning. Krupp rims this one around. MJ Graham with it here in the corner. Gets checked there by Soilis. Down the ice it goes. Icing not on as Noonan's going to play it at the goal line. 30 seconds left to go here in the third. Quentin Roseboom from behind his own net. He'll dump this one down the length of the ice with Port Huron being shorthanded. Rutledge will slow it up there. Noah Doyle with it behind the net. 18 seconds to go in the third. Rims it over to Frazier near side. Dana Barker's listing off all the penalties. Somehow a Georgia power play, and there's 10 seconds left to go. Can Columbus try something here? MJ Graham, left wing circle, back in across. Krupp fires. Great save, Noonan. That one won't mean much, but it'll go on the highlight reel for Joe Noonan for sure. And we are through with this game and this weekend. River Dragons take all 3 points and win the weekend. A Saturday scoreline of 5-2.
River Dragons win your final score
A huge bounce-back weekend when all things considered for Columbus. Came in on a 3-game losing streak, lost in Biloxi to make it 4, but now taking 2 straight here on home ice against Port Huron. That's got them back to their winning ways, feeling good and moving up the standings here in the FPHL. River Dragons get ready to salute the home crowd here at center ice. Jared Rutledge gets all the love from his teammates, and the crowd responds in kind. Let's take a break. When we come back, Chattahoochee postgame show up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Welcome to the Chattahoochee. That's right, the Chattahoochee Southern Brew House is the official post-game hangout of the Columbus River Dragons, serving their exclusive River Dragon Red Ale on all game nights, located just a mile and a half from the Civic Center at 1301 6th Avenue. There's no excuse not to get out with some friends and enjoy the night with some quality craft brews. Chattahoochee Southern Brew House is locally and veteran-owned and offers live music from 6 to 10 on Friday and Saturday nights. Make sure to follow them on social media for all the latest events.
The King Claw is one of the most popular destinations for seafood enthusiasts. King Claw is inspired by the Viet Cajun elegance of boil and bag seafood that holds all the juicy flavor of the ocean. Then we add our very own unique mixture of the best spices that take the taste to another level. We can confirm that you won't find our flavor anywhere else. We collect the freshest seafood, prepare them as you order, and we encourage you to grab your hand in the bag to enjoy the heavenly taste of our signature seafood combinations. We believe that having quality and fresh foods with friends and family is the best feeling in the world. Come, open up a bag and enjoy the best seafood in town where the ultimate juiciness waits for you. Call 706-507-3845 to order.
It's time for the Chattahoochee postgame show on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by Cypress Partners, Podcast 706, Chattahoochee Southern Brew House, The Jersey Shop, BioLife Plasma, and P&B Broadcasting. Now with a recap of tonight's action, here's Zach DeBozart.
We are back here at the Columbus Civic Center. River Dragons defeat the Prowlers by a score of 5-2. And our first star of the game being announced, it is Josh Petrantonio. That seems like a good place to start it. 3 stars of the game selected here in the arena. Petrantonio, we just told you, star number 1 with 2 goals. Hunter Bersani, star number 2. And a 38 save effort for Jared Rutledge gets him star number 3. River Dragons sweep the stars, sweep the Columbus portion of this weekend. 2 games here, but the 1 game in Biloxi went Port Huron's way. 6-3 in total on points, 2-1 in games, and the River Dragons on a 2-game winning streak heading into next weekend against the Binghamton Black Bears. In the third period of play, the teams traded goals. Levi Armstrong tapped one home off a goal line scrum, 9-10 into the period. Answered back, though, on the power play, 11:52 mark by Zach Frisura to make it 4-2. But our first star of the game, Josh Petrantonio, 48 seconds later, set himself up on his own breakaway, made a very nice move in front of Noonan, and made it 5-2, and eventually gave the game its final scoreline. Shots on goal, Dragons 29, Prowlers 40. So that's a third period total of 14-11 in favor of Port Huron. Very rarely do you see Columbus outshot by double digits on their own ice, but they'll take it after the effort they saw offensively, especially early, and you're always comfortable with a 5-2 win, no matter what some other stat lines might read. Speaking of other stat lines, River Dragons were 1 for 2 on the Georgia power play. That's what I had them at. I don't know, that number might have changed a bit because of the extra power play tacked on to the end and all the penalties that came out of it. Shouldn't be too crazy. The power play goal was scored by Austin Doe in the later stages of the first period. Elsewhere, 4 for 5 on the Houston Clinic penalty kill. That Zach Frisura power play goal, the only mark against that record. 5-2, Dragons defeat the Prowlers here on a Saturday night, sending the crowd home happy. Let's take a break. When we come back, a look around the FPHL and an update on the standings after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Deliver orders of any size at low competitive cost with no minimum quantity required to order. That's why the River Dragons trust us for all their uniform needs. Call the Jersey Shop in Columbus today, 706-565-4242.
Today, more than ever, you can rely on the trustworthy technicians at Midas for your car's needs. From scheduled maintenance to brake repairs to oil changes, suspension work, and more. Our technicians are known for their work and their word that your car will be fixed in the best way possible. Stop in your neighborhood Midas today with 2 locations in Columbus. At the corner of 13th Street and Veterans, just up the road from the Columbus Civic Center, and the other off Manchester Expressway. Midas Total Car Care. Proud sponsors of the River Dragons. Trust the Midas touch.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back here at the Columbus Civic Center, the Chattahoochee post-game show. River Dragons win this one 5-2 on the back of a heck of an offensive output by the line of Petrantonio, Doe, and Bersani. They combined for 4 of the 5 goals in some way, shape, or form. Bersani, 2 of them. Petro got 1. Dozer got 1 as well. The 3 stars of the game went Petrantonio, Bersani, Rutledge. But, hey, you got to give some credit to Austin Doe, who's last night's first star of the game with a couple of goals. He picked up a goal and 2 assists in this one as well. I mean, that line was just on fire for Jerome Bichard today. And speaking of Jerome Bichard, he got a little fiery behind the bench after all of that chaos and madness. The 49.5 seconds left to go in the third mark, he got himself tossed. Multiple players from each team got tossed. There was all sorts of punches thrown and fights right near the Columbus bench. And, man, after the crowd was excited they were going to walk out of here with the win, they got pretty much the closest thing you might see to a benches clearer in terms of the personnel involved with that little incident there. Who knows if the league will end up looking at it, but we'll find out as the week goes on. Speaking of the league, let's take a look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo's Zip-In. Zelmo's, the official fuel provider of the Columbus River Dragons. Watertown defeats Binghamton by a score of 6-1, despite what I might have been setting up in the early parts of the post-game show talking about Binghamton. The Black Bears fall big at home, and now Binghamton gets ready for a long road trip down here to the Columbus Civic Center. Watertown added on a last goal, the 11:31 mark of the third, to Rocco Di Costanzo. Binghamton now down to Columbus for 2 games. We'll have more information on that later on in the post-game show. Also a 6-1 scoreline, but this one in favor of the home team. The Danbury Hat-Tricks defeat the Delaware Thunder. We mentioned the Delaware Thunder did get a goal through Brandon Beard and prevented themselves from being shut out on the weekend, but Dmitry Kuznetsov added a second one to restore Danbury's 5-goal lead. As you look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo Zip-In. Next Fed Hockey League action occurs on Wednesday. Watertown at Danbury for a 7 o'clock puck drop at Danbury Ice Arena. Then on Thursday, Carolina's at Port Huron 7:05. And then we get into a full slate of weekend activities with Danbury Hat-Tricks off on the Friday and Saturday. Thus the Wednesday game. Give them a little bit of something, so not too far, I guess, on bye. And we take a quick look over at the standings as well. I think every game is finalized, so we can give these pretty accurately. Let's load them up. Yes, they are. and tell you that, of course, Watertown maintains their lead atop the FPHL standings. Right now, 26 points out of 33. It's a 78.8% points percentage. Right now, far and away the best team in the FPHL at a 9-2 record. Danbury, though, 8-3-1. They're up in second place. 23 points, 639 in their points percentage. Binghamton, 20 points, 556. They have actually not updated this because those Binghamton numbers at 556 is what they came in on. So I don't really feel like doing all the... No, 56 they had. Port Huron at 500 is what they had coming into the game, and they've now fallen underneath 500. So Columbus will definitely move up in the standings over Port Huron, over Carolina as well. I don't think they'll be able to catch Binghamton, though. It'll still be a point or two behind them. So Columbus jumps up to fourth. I don't know the exact numbers because the math still hasn't been calculated by the Federal Hockey site. Don't worry, that'll happen at some point tonight, and you'll be able to check it from there. federalhockey.com for all the latest on the standings in there. Southern Hockey scoreboard. Let's run through this real quick. SPHL at a full slate of games. Overtime in Fayetteville, 2-1. The Marksmen defeat the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. Shutout in Macon, but it was the Macon Mayhem that were shut out. Pensacola 4, Mayhem nothing. Congrats to River Dragons loanee Sean Kuhn picking up the 24-save shutout in that one. 4.5 left to go in the third. Evansville 3, Birmingham 1. 2.5 left to go in the third. Huntsville 6, Vermilion County 2. Havoc just having their way with the Bobcats right now. And Quad City 3, Peoria 1, halfway through the third period in that one at the Tax Slayer Center. 4-1, Norfolk Admirals come away with the win over the Atlanta Gladiators. Gladiators were on the road on that one. And we also had another battle of South Carolina. This time it fell the way of the Stingrays in extra time. A shootout is what it took. 4-3, Stingrays over Swamp Rabbits. Let's take a break. When we come back, we close out tonight's Chattahoochee postgame show with a look ahead to the Binghamton Black Bears after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Welcome to the Chattahoochee. That's right, the Chattahoochee Southern Brew House is the official post-game hangout of the Columbus River Dragons, serving their exclusive River Dragon Red Ale on all game nights, located just a mile and a half from the Civic Center at 1301 6th Avenue. There's no excuse not to get out with some friends and enjoy the night with some quality craft brews. Chattahoochee Southern Brew House is locally and veteran-owned and offers live music from 6 to 10 on Friday and Saturday nights. Make sure to follow them on social media for all the latest events.
Hey Columbus, have you heard of BioLife Plasma Services? It adds up. Here's how. The cash you'll earn for your time donating plasma at BioLife adds up for the things you want, and your plasma donations can add up over time to create life-changing medicine for people with rare diseases. Stop in and check us out at our new Columbus BioLife location. New donors can earn up to $300 in their first 5 plasma donations at BioLife. Visit biolifeaddsup.com to schedule an appointment today.
Prepare yourself for an unparalleled golfing experience. Co-designed by Columbus resident and 1987 Masters winner Larry Mize, Maple Ridge Golf Course is a pleasure for golfers of any skill level to play. Test your accuracy with our fairways, water hazards, and sand traps. We have everything you need to challenge yourself and improve your game. Memberships available year-round by calling 706-569-0966 or book a tee time by visiting golfmapleridge.com.
Back here one final time on the Chattahoochee postgame show. River Dragons defeat the Prowlers by a score of 5-2. Third period goals scored by Levi Armstrong and Josh Petrantonio. In the middle of those two was a Zach Versura power play goal. Columbus takes 6 points out of 9 and on a 2-game winning streak as they look ahead now to welcome in the Binghamton Black Bears, the FPHL's newest team. Binghamton finds themselves in a little bit of a rut after losing 6-1 today, but a very dangerous team currently sitting in third place in the FPHL standings. If we did our math right during the break, that'll be 3 versus 4, barring anything crazy happening during the midweek before these two teams meet up Friday and Saturday night at the Columbus Civic Center. Tickets available Civic Center box office or on Ticketmaster. We see a group down there on the ice taking pictures with Torch and Scorch. If you want to bring your group out to a game, 10 or more, call the River Dragons office, 706-507-GOAL, 706-507-4625. Tons of great group rates and perks available, like, hey, how about a post-game center ice on ice face-off with the mascots, Torch and Scorch, dressed out in a little bit of holiday bling, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Coming up next weekend, welcoming in the Black Bears. Speaking of the holidays, a holiday tradition comes up on Saturday night. our teddy bear toss game. Saturday, December 11th, 7:30 puck drop. When the River Dragons score their first goal of that game, bring a new or gently used stuffed animal to the game and throw it onto the ice in celebration of the goal. All proceeds will be donated to a wonderful cause you'll be hearing more about later on this week. Follow the River Dragons on social media for more details. _River Dragons on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So the Black Bears in town Friday and Saturday. Teddy bear toss on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see everybody here in the Civic Center enjoying those games. Next time you'll hear from us, we'll be on the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show Tuesday night, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm sure Jerome Bichar will be very lively to talk to after he had the week off last week. And then in this one, a couple of big wins. Got himself tossed at the end of this game. Man, oh man, I'm sure that's gonna have some fun stories behind the scenes that hopefully we can tell. Remember, we are on live radio, so we're gonna have to keep it PG on that. But we'll have some fun talking with Jerome, special player guest, and more. Again, the John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show, Tuesday nights, 6 to 7 p.m., all on these same River Dragons radio stations. Big thanks to everybody behind the scenes at WTVM for helping to make tonight's game possible on Bounce 9.2. As always, on the River Dragons Radio Network and the YouTube page as well. Big thanks to Jake Grade, Inside the Lair pregame show guest, Elise Bradford, Allison Holiday running social media behind the scenes, a large crowd here in attendance with us on the production side of things, Chris Kaufman, Eli Hardigree, Connor Zays, Brandon Lane. Hey, happy birthday, Brandon, by the way. We were ribbing him a little bit in the group chats, having some fun, so happy birthday to Brandon. Glad you got to spend it with us. Jamil Hawkins, Stephen Pierce, and Xavier Thomas as well. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming out and celebrating Brandon's birthday with us. They got him a big win, and it was so fun to be along with you for the ride here on this Saturday night. River Dragons win 5-2. That'll do it for us. You'll hear from us next on Tuesday, John Emerald Distilling Coaches Show. Until then, I'm Zach DeBozart. One more time, your final score: Columbus 5, Port Huron 2 on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You've been listening to the Chattahoochee Postgame Show on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Tonight's show was brought to you by Cypress Partners, Podcast 706, Chattahoochee Southern Brew House, The Jersey Shop, BioLife Plasma, and PMB Broadcasting. All rights to this broadcast are reserved by the Columbus River Dragons and PMB Broadcasting for the private use of their audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game are expressly prohibited without the written consent of Ignite Sports and Entertainment and PMB Broadcasting. This has been a presentation of the Columbus River Dragons